It starts in an hour that they're going to explain.
Bam, we're live. Okay, go on.
Nope.
Listen. No one's watching anything else. Put that other shit on just save.
That was funny.
Hi, good morning.
You talking to us?
Yeah. Hey, people in the after this week, I noticed that there's a crew that will now that got John Young's back. That's like, have you noticed the tide is kind of changing? It was like fucking a year of just beat on John Young, and now there's like some people who are like, fuck that, John's on our homeboy.
They like picking for the lesser analyst.
I guess I don't know. Well, you have to. He was with Tyler and Spin. He was with Tyler and Spin.
Maybe he was the best one over there.
There's people who aren't going to tolerate the John Young jokes.
I go back and forth between the A team and the B team. We don't know where to put me at.
You swing both ways.
Did you get the results I sent you from last week's prediction, Sevan?
Oh, I did. Oh, I didn't. Did you? I didn't know. Where was that? Was that in a text?
Just a private text you to me. The one you have pinned at the top of your favorites list.
Yeah, I didn't even open the Google Doc yet. Shit, where is that?
He doesn't send you that text when my predictions are better than his, but
Brian, you did.
Better, he'll send it.
Brian, you did send me that Google Doc again?
Yeah, I removed you from it and replaced and gave it to you again last night.
Okay. Yep, here it is. It popped up. I didn't really understand the score. I did see the score was 9-8-9-8, but I didn't understand what that was in reference to. Can you help me out?
Oh, that was just the raw number of qualifiers that each of us got correct. So
okay.
It didn't.
Oh, we both got 9 and 8.
No. He got 9. You got 8.
For both men and women, which is kind of interesting, actually.
Yeah, that is impressive.
And like, and quite frankly, last week, I don't think it was actually that difficult to get a lot of them correct. And the ones that we missed and probably everyone missed are mostly the same. We both missed Brooke Wells. We both missed Carolyn Prevost. And then
Sydney Wells.
I'm saying the ones that we had making it that didn't make it.
Oh, okay.
I was starting that.
Prevost didn't make it, huh? God, that's
no. The women's competition in the North America East was super competitive. If you haven't seen the stat anywhere else, from 8th place to 15th place was separated by 20 points. So Carolyn Prevost was in 15th, which it doesn't appear to be close to making it, but she was actually only 20 points away from being in 8th, which is
Same for Brooke.
Brooke was just behind that, so she had or was she 14th? I can't quite remember. She might have been 14th because it was
she was 8 points out of making the last one.
Yeah. So she was the one in between Carolyn and then Jordan Sheffs and Annika Greer. So yeah, and it basically, just a few, one thing goes differently for any number of those women here or there, and one or two different women might be going to the games than not. So anyway, the only person that I had in that John didn't, that made it was Fee. And the only person he had in that didn't make it that I didn't was Annika. And I mean, the margins were incredible.
I thought you didn't have Shelby Neal in there.
Well, after Mal O'Brien was removed, then she was the next person up.
Oh, damn.
Gotcha.
But I gave you credit for Carolyn Prevost as a pick. And if she would have got in, then you would have got her as well.
Yeah.
I just slid it down one. And I mean, look, the girls that we had just on the outside, I had Annika next in line. She was next in line. Then I had Sydney Wells. She made it. Then I had Carolyn Stanley. She made it. And John had Sydney Wells next in line. She made it. Fee made it. Carolyn made it. So the ones that we missed on, we were very close. It was just, and we kind of knew that bubble was going to be tight. So all in all, no one thought this weekend would go the way it did for Brooke Wells. And then, for the girls on the bubble, we were, we all knew who was going to be right there, and just a matter of a few points separating. And the men was very similar. Obviously we both missed on Saxon Panchik. We both missed on Alexander Caron, and those guys, they didn't make it, they didn't even finish the competition. And I would think that most people would have expected them to both make it. And then we also both missed on Tyler Christoffel. And again, I think that from a fitness perspective, he's certainly good enough and just didn't have the execution. And so the only difference between us was I had Will Morad in, and he had Jake Berman in. Will made it, and Jake didn't.
Will Morad, huh? What a stud.
He did fantastic this weekend.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing about Will is like we talked about it in the preview last week is that you never really want to bet against him. He's kind of always defying the odds, and this slate of tests was pretty good for him. Like snatching is probably the best thing he could hope for in terms of a weightlifting test. He's a great runner. The fact that there were a lot of machines is maybe not that great for a smaller athlete in general, but Will's solid, man. And I think I would parallel him to some of the guys that we're going to talk about in the West this week who, you might also not want to be sleeping on a little bit.
Who's better? John Young at CrossFit and analyzing, analysis, data breakdown, sports commentator, or Will Morad as a CrossFitter?
I think Will Morad.
Oh shit! You didn't even fucking even pretend to.
I mean, Will's good. Like the thing is, yeah. I mean, well, that's tough. Like, what are you gonna say? I would say John's one of the top. I'm sure I don't know all of them, but John's one of the top analysts in the sport. It's not an accident we have him on this show. And I would say there are less people that are better than him at this than there are better than Will at CrossFit. But I also think there's a lot more competition to be good at CrossFit than there is to be good at this.
Deeper field. Easy for John to be at the top of the heap here because so many people suck and there's so few people. Yeah. Okay.
I think we should take Morad's analytical ability and my CrossFit ability, and then we can compare those two.
It still will.
Yeah.
Jack Farlow, James Sprague, Spencer Panchik, all great. It's going to be great seeing them in the games. Luke Parker. Let me just ask one question. Of these guys, Will Morad, Noah Olson, Luke Parker, Alex Vigneault, Jack Farlow, James Sprague. How do you think
Spencer Panchik?
Sorry, Spencer Panchik. Yep, perfect. Ooh, that fits nicely. Okay. Rank them in order of how they'll finish at the games for me. I don't need to know what place they'll be in.
Okay. Well, interesting thing I just found out about Alex Vigneault is he has recently had his second child, and he's on paternity leave for the rest of the summer.
Okay.
I think that is bad news for the games field.
Okay.
I think that will give him some freedom, not just in terms of training, but in terms of recovery, sleep, whatever. Obviously, having a kid is a thing, but his family's very, when it comes to sleep, but his family's very supportive of that. So I think he'll have, and it's not his first child. So they already know how to get through one. I think that he's going to come into the games pretty good. So against this specific group of athletes, I think there's a clear top 3 and bottom 4. I would say Vigneault, Olson, and Morad will beat the other 4 at the games.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 3, I probably would go in Vigneault, then Olson, then Morad.
I think Vigneault will be top 10. I guess flirting with that territory.
Yeah, I think more likely 11 through 15 seems like a realistic range for him. I think Noah also probably likely in that range, and Will's probably going to be more like 16 to 23. Of the other guys, obviously Spencer has his second year coming to the games. And, I think there is a big advantage of having 1 year of games competition under your belt. So I'd probably give him the edge over the others. And then I'd probably, I got to just say Luke Parker. Absolutely. I've never seen that version of Luke Parker in a competition before. Test after test after test, I was impressed with what Luke was doing. The game's a different animal. The good thing for Luke is that he's in an environment where he has, a lot of people to train with that are also doing it. Jack and James similarly. So I think they'll all come in pretty well prepared, but I'd probably take
Sprague over those guys.
I was going to say I'd probably take Sprague. Then it's tough between Farlow and Parker. Maybe Sprague, Farlow, Parker.
That's a great analysis of Alex Vigneault you gave, Brian. But here's the problem. Alex Vigneault will pull out of the games. He will not make it.
You think he just won't try hard enough in one of the events?
No, I think something's going to happen to him. I think he has a.
They're going to pull him.
I don't want to say curse. That's a little strong. But he will not. It's like a draw. It's crazy to bet that there'll be a draw in a boxing match. Just like it's crazy. But Vigneault will not make it till Sunday.
Who's the other guy that you're on your list of will not make it till Sunday?
And I forget. Hold on one second. And Luke Parker, out of all these guys, is the only one that after the semifinals went back to his room and wept like a baby. James probably teared up as he hugged his dad, but I guarantee you Luke Parker had a massive cathartic emotional dump when he went back to his room. He can't believe he made it. He was faking it till he made it, and
I know
he really
expected
showed
that.
up.
He's been saying for a while.
I know, but I don't believe it the way
in the world.
I don't believe it the way I hear Samuel Cornway said it. I think for Luke, this was a huge personal growth. I mean this all as a compliment to Luke, by the way. But I think he tricked himself and it worked.
I can't remember who posted it. Oh, it might have been Fee actually that posted.
Oh, did Sam Dancer, by the way, pull out? Is he already out of the games? Did I hear?
That's the other guy that's on your list.
Is he toast already? I
actually haven't looked to see, because the masters that qualified for the games already got their invites. I wonder if we go to the games page, if we can see who's accepted those invites already.
He's somebody that something always happens to him.
Where would I go? Games, Masters division?
2023 games, age group, and then sort by division. I'm going to it right now. And he's accepted his invite.
I don't know who posts more pictures in the hospital, Sam Dancer or Gordon Ryan, for those of you who follow Gordon Ryan. It's crazy. Two guys who I don't see Sam's name. Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh God, I haven't seen that name in a while. Steve Fawcett. He's good.
Scott Panchik.
He's actually going to be competing in Europe as well in the individual field.
No shit.
Yep.
Scott's the guy to beat here in this division, yeah.
For sure. I mean, he and Rich were so far ahead of everyone else at the quarterfinals that, I mean, it was like 100 points.
From Brandon Lecoq, anyone in the Colorado Springs area, I want you to know, especially if you're in Colorado or in the area, or if you're not in the area, we are hosting a sweet, I prefer spicy, but sweet's fine, sweet barbecue and Murph event. Come on down. Josh Bridges was invited, but who knows if he'll show up. How about a date and how about more information? For $5, I'll give you a little bit more. Eaton Beaver. Great job this weekend, Brian. You did us proud. That's nice. Brian is Hiller's therapist. Brian is giving you 100% credit for CrossFit Podcast going live. There's no way they did that on their own. You definitely made the show for them. Good job, Brian.
I was certainly involved, but there's no chance that I could have pulled that off on my own. There were a lot of people that stepped up to make that happen, and I'm glad that we were able to do it.
Do we have anybody in Pasadena?
We're working on it, yes.
So my mom is going to be there if we need extra hands. She's told me to let Sevan know.
Oh, where? In Pasadena?
Her phone will be ready if you need her.
That's awesome. She's a good dude. That's really sweet.
Where does she live out there?
Does your mom watch the show, John? That's going to fuck me up if I find out she watches the show. I have to turn it down a notch.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
She watches some of them she doesn't. I don't think they watch it live. So they read the comments as people are going, and they don't understand why people think I look like all of these other people. But, but no, my parents live in South Dakota, so they're not far away from Pasadena.
Lampshade, it's Murph, Sevan. Don't be a dipshit. The date is known. All right. Well, thank you. Heidi Kroom, Sevan, you and the crew are cordially invited to my backyard barbecue this weekend. Oh, that's nice. You. That's cool. Ribs. Sevan, are you doing Murph? No, I don't know. Maybe. Fuck. No, I can't even do pull. If I do, I'll have to scale it. I still can't do. I haven't done a pull up in 4 months or something. Longest it's been in my life since that one time I did my first pull up in the backyard on a tree branch while high on ecstasy. Sorry, there's no leaderboards that match that. What am I doing here? Okay. Games, individual. Let's go back to semifinals. Oh, one more quick thing. God, Brian, you were right. I dilly dally. Brian was telling me I dilly dally. I was like, I'll show him tomorrow, but I'm already dilly dallying. Women's division. Let's go down here. We got so Annika Greer didn't make it.
Correct.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and it was super tight. And there's I know that there were a couple very controversial moments for her on the last day, and I think that if people have different opinions about both of them. I think that the very clear and obvious one was with the sandbag, and it was what I learned after the fact was it wasn't that her sandbag was over the line that she got called back. It was that her feet were over the line. And because there were definitely a lot of sandbags over the line that didn't get called back. But if you slow it down or zoom in on it, you can see her toes over the line. I believe the judge made the right call calling her back there. And that might have been the difference. The one that's a little less clear to me is the no rep on the legless rope climb. I haven't gone back and watched it super closely. It looked like a pretty obvious miscall by the judge, but I have seen some people that said they think the judge got that right. So,
they went back and changed it, so they didn't agree in the moment.
Right. And then, so, the question is, because I'm pretty sure she appealed to get some time back on that. They didn't give her any time back on it. And I think that's where the kind of uncertainty is.
You don't see that very often. That threw Brian for a loop. Did you see that? I put up the no one's invited to my backside, and Brian.
I was just hoping, that she doesn't get a sunburn on her back in case what you meant to be offering was to apply suntan lotion.
Brian twitched for a second.
It's getting warm here in the Midwest finally.
It was like you were up for the challenge. Someone told you no, and you're like, "We'll see, Heidi."
Anyway, so, but I mean, this, if you've been watching this sport for a long time, you will know that there are people that have missed and made the games by margins that small at regionals and semifinals for years and years and years. I mean, it sometimes it's on the athlete. Sometimes it does come down to a judge's call. And I know that there are people that are making efforts to improve the judging situation as far as big picture goes. But it's just like any other sport. At the end of the day, it's human error. It's humans that are making those decisions. And, in an NFL game, there's like 5-6 refs on the field and in a 22 athletes. And in CrossFit, there's 10 and 10 an individual most of the time. And that means that there's 10 opportunities for a judge to get it right or get it wrong. And there's a lot of different movements, and there's a lot of different standards. And that's the main reason why I think CrossFit needs to improve is if they want to have these mysterious standards for athletes, and you guys have heard me say this before, I can understand that. I still think that needs to be approached differently during the semifinals from the CrossFit Games. The CrossFit Games is a one-off competition, and whatever kind of mysterious standards that you impose there obviously only affect the athletes in that field. This is over 3 weeks, and you heard, if you watched Andrew Hiller's video on Alex Caron, you heard him talk about it. He's like, I reached out to try to get information, and they gave me a vague answer, said I'd find out on site. I don't really love that, because if I was competing in week 2 or 3, I would have had that opportunity to get that information ahead of time and make a decision with that information that I asked for. So I don't like that. That's an exact example. While I don't like the withholding information from the athletes in week 1, when you know that it's going to get out to athletes in week 2 and 3, they didn't have the same opportunity to practice pulling a sled that would be as heavy as the one ended up being. And I know that it's everyone in the field still has the same opportunity or lack of opportunity there, but they don't have the same opportunity that everyone who's going next week or the week after have. And it's starting to show why that's a problem. Even if you want to have that lack of transparency with the athletes, don't have it with the judges. You need to set up at least one of those two groups for success. And I think that's probably the area right now that CrossFit can make a big improvement quickly, is to make sure that set the judges up for success. They're already they're volunteering their time there. They're on the center stage. They're in the spotlight. People are being critical of them, and they're doing it for the competition. Give them the best chance to do it well.
Are you saying that in the back there wasn't a sled with 225 pounds on it for anyone to pull?
I'm saying that before any of the athletes in week 1 got on site, they didn't know what that sled was. And they didn't know how to, see athletes that are competing in week 2 and 3 now posting videos of them pulling the heaviest version of a sled that they can find. But you could go watch anyone who posted a video, even someone like me. I did that workout and I finished in 25 minutes. And I thought I was doing something that would be comparable to what the athletes were doing. And I was nowhere near that. I needed to make it at least twice, if not 3 or 4 times as hard as it was to simulate what they were actually experiencing out there.
Because that makes it a way different workout.
That sled was hard to pull because of the texture of the ground. Hard to
pull. I did it with only 2 plates on there, and it was difficult to pull. And after 1 length of the field, my grip was already starting to feel it.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
And I would have had to do 9 lengths of that to complete the workout in the way that it was laid out.
Ryan, do you think that makes the machines irrelevant? Because it's set up as a cardio endurance workout, and it kind of turned out to be who can just pull the sled the best.
Just so you know, you guys, we're talking about workout one. It had the runner, the skier, and the rower in it, and then in between there were basically the bike. Sorry, the bike, and there were basically 100-foot rope pulls in it. Okay, with 225.
Yeah, I mean, I know
pounds.
that there are athletes that in the course of play realize, oh, well, I can pull this sled a lot better than everyone else, so I'm just gonna run slow because I know I can make up the time on the last 2 sled pulls. And so where I thought that, and we talked about this coming in, I thought that this workout would come down to who's willing to hurt on the second half of the run and the second half of the ski. It didn't matter nearly at all, John. So
irrelevant.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I am glad that they used a sled, not the torque tank, and I am appreciative of how long it was, and that we did get to see some exciting passes in the sled pool. Where was that comment? Someone said, "Hey, Sevi, are you going to shoot up some?" Oh, here we go. William Harden, Sevi, when are you going to start using peptides? I would shoot anything into my arm to make this pain go away, and I mean that. Brian from Barry McCockiner, $5. Thank you, Brian Perrin from Training Think Tank. Is that the girl that trains? Is that the Asian girl that trains Sarah? Oh yeah, I like her. Perrin from Training Think Tank said that she did not see anything in the rule book about the feet sandbag over the line as others were doing it.
What rule book?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Justin said just read between the lines, and then that's where it's at.
Did he really say that?
No, I'm just joking.
Well, wherever the rules were written, he probably.
I mean, this is one of the problems is that I was not able to go to all of the athlete briefings, and I don't know if what was briefed at the athlete briefings was given to the athletes and coaches in a written format as well. I am of the belief that those things should have been known when the workouts came out, so that all of the athletes and the coaches would have opportunity to have a clear understanding of that ahead of time. Because the last thing that I want is that people are getting games qualification spots for anything other than their fitness. And in this case, because we're not talking about the CrossFit Games here. We're talking about qualifying athletes to the CrossFit Games. And so I think that we need to make sure that the playing field is level. CrossFit has to have the confidence to put out the standards in a clear and easy to understand way. You have to remember this is 7 semifinals on 6 continents with dozens of different languages that athletes are speaking. These should be extremely simple and easy to understand standards. In the case of the final test, if you looked at the whole field of play, there was a big amount of space from the second red line to the finish line. I think very clear standard, move both those red lines 3 feet forward so there's enough space between the Dolomer and the first one so that athletes can stand and the bag can be there. And the standard should have been the bag starts behind the line and finishes over the line, period. Don't make it any more complicated than that. Make it easy on yourself.
I did like it in that sprint at the end in the last event that they made it that just the bag has to go over the line.
Yeah, and that's why.
Or else someone would have thrown it. Or else someone would have thrown it over the line, and they would have had to call him back and be like, "Hey, your feet weren't over first." That would have been so stupid.
The finishing rule was great. It was very clear.
Yeah,
the starting rule should have been the same and just as clear. The athlete and the bag. Well, just say the bag. The bag starts behind the line and finishes over the line. Period. On the legless rope climbs, they had a similarly, in my opinion, unnecessarily confusing standard. At the bottom, the hands clearly had to be below the red, but at the top, they had to be at or above the red. Just eliminate the word at. There was 1.5 feet of space up there. Hands both clearly below, hands both clearly above, hands both clearly below.
Or to be honest, I would do it the other way. I would do it both. One hand has to be above and one hand has to be at on both sides. And the reason why is just because the ref might not be able to see what's going on up there. But either way, make it consistent.
Yeah.
Right. Halpin, just a tidbit of information. The issue with that sled is that when it turned, it can pull under itself. So what does that mean, Brian? The athletes would get to the end and we're so off subject. And you would have to rotate the sled 180 degrees yourself as the athlete. Okay.
And as the sled's rotating, this can happen. So now it's folded up underneath so that when it pulls, it's getting caught on itself.
Okay.
And then so now you have a choice. If you've folded it up under itself, you can go out on the field and try to lift up the weight and flatten it out, which will make the pull a lot easier. Or you can try to pull it like that, but the friction is increased and it makes every pull harder.
So you don't actually turn the sled around by the carpet. You just yank the rope and force it around is what people were doing.
Yeah.
Oh, some of the judges weren't letting their people go fix it. Like some were letting them fix it and some said, no, you can't fix it. We got that from athletes said they wouldn't let me go fix it.
Someone's telling me which peptides to shoot. Sevan BPC 157 and TB 500, good peptide combo. Okay.
We got 3 semifinals coming up this week.
My elbow, my bicep, not my elbow. My bicep is fucked up. I got to get it fixed.
Because is it your right one?
It's my left one.
Lucky.
I know what you did there. There's I think someone said something mean about me here. Where is that? Here. Okay. Kenneth Lap. Don't act like you care about being on subject just because Brian is here. Fine. Okay. Fine. Like, that was insincere. You're right. Okay. One more quick thing before we go to North America West Week 2 semifinals. What's the other one? Oceana. And what's the third one?
South America.
South America. Okay. I'll do South America right now. Guy's going to win. These ladies here, let me scroll down a little bit. Sorry, Annika. See you next year. Alexis. Wow. So the women's field's kind of deeper, man. Like the fact that
look at 6 to 7's points gap.
We talked about this.
Yeah. But
you mean? Oh, right.
7 about it 5 minutes ago. You forgot.
Right. right. Okay. Yeah.
Scroll up to the top. This is what
because Alexis Raptis and Paige Powers are not in the same category as Sydney Wells. Love Sydney Wells. Excited she's there. But
so the athletes 1 through 6 on the women's field, all of them are top 10 contenders for the games in North America East.
Yeah.
That's a total. What you saw from those 6 athletes through this weekend is some of the best women in the world. And I think that some of the times they set on some of these workouts will be competitive, if not hold up across the next 2 weeks. If you want to do your little experiment here, like I did with the men, 7 through 11 is where we should look, because this is a totally different caliber of athlete than those top 6.
Hey, everyone's all the women in the world are freaking out, right, about Emma Cary. Like, everyone's like, oh,
well, they shouldn't be.
Her and Danielle Brandon, they're like, fuck, the games is done.
No, I mean, Emma Cary, as we talked about in the buildup, she has shown it 2 years ago that she has the capacity to win a semifinal. And, you know, if she'd made
with Emma Lawson there and Danielle Brandon and Alexis Raptis and Paige Powers, I mean, geez Louise. So
last time that she was in a position to do that, the best athletes that she was beating was Mal O'Brien and Ariel Lowen. And that was before Mal O'Brien was of the caliber that we knew she has potential now. Now she's beaten Danielle Brandon, who is a legitimate podium contender. She's beaten Emma Lawson, who's a legitimate podium contender. She's beaten Amanda Barnhart, who's had several top 10 finishes at the games. Alexis Raptis, who's coming off a top 10 finish at the games. Paige Powers, who beat Emma Cary at Wadapalooza. And she's just beat all of them. So yes, this is the best version we've seen of Emma Cary yet, but I don't think it's a surprising version. Like, you have to keep in mind, we knew she had this potential. We still need to see her show it over the totality of a CrossFit Games test. So just because she won this semifinal does not necessarily mean that I'll pick her to beat every one of these women at the games. Well, you'll be making a mistake. This is ridiculous. I'll make a bet with you right now that Emma Cary does not beat all 5 of those women at the games, that at least one of them beats her. At the CrossFit Games? Yeah. Oh, done. Did you take the bet? Yeah. What do you think her hole is? You don't think she's strong enough? You saw something in one of the workouts? No, I mean, look at her finishes there. Oh, what were her lowest finishes? 10. Who do you think's gonna beat her? Who do you think's gonna beat her? Lawson? Were those workouts 3 and 4 where she was 10th? Oh, sorry. So
can you scroll up a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Linda and Max Snatch.
And then 8th on workout 6. So I would say that most likely her upper body pressing gymnastics is an area that she has some to improve on. And the max snatch test, I actually think in a different format of snatching, she might do better than this relative to the field. I think she could probably snatch 200 pounds plus. I think she probably made a good decision by not going for it. I was thinking about this with Jason Hopper. Jason's a decent runner. Like, he's a pretty good runner, and he took his worst finish on the second half of that workout. And he did a 295 snatch and then a 305 snatch. Like, that's a lot of, and then you have a 2-minute forced
within like 30 seconds of each other too.
And then you have a forced rest after that. And look, what happens to the body after a maximal effort and then you're forced to come down from it is kind of weird. And I was kind of wondering if maybe he wasn't able to push on that run because of the back-to-back heavy snatches. His finishes ended up being 1st and 12th, which I think scores better than Emma's 10th and 2nd in terms of total points. Or I think her 10th and 2nd scores better, I mean. So maybe the choice to not go for an extra snatch, So I'm not too worried about her snatch there. So if there was any perceived hole relative to her other elite fitness, maybe it's upper
Handstand
body
push-ups.
pressing gymnastics.
Did you say pressing?
Yeah, the dumbbell bench and the handstand push-ups are probably the two biggest weaknesses relative to her nearest competitors.
Hey, what Ryan has going on here, I think I cracked a code on this. Danielle Brandon is overrated. I think it comes down to this trust that there's this, like, she's clearly not overrated, right? Oh, why? No, Sevan, of course, that's ridiculous. She's fantastic. Yeah, she's clearly not overrated, but people still want to say stuff like that because they don't trust. They can't trust their eyes, right? You just picture her at the bar with Justin Bieber.
I mean, I don't want to speak out of without checking this, but I'm just we'll just check it right now. I mean, let's look at her finishes the last 3 seasons. In quarterfinals, 14th, 6th, and 12th worldwide. In semifinals, 2nd, 1st, and 3rd. And at the games, 11th and 4th. I mean,
Crazy.
It's pretty consistent. She's answered a lot of questions. I think she's one of the top 5 women in the world. And anyone who disagrees with that, I think would have a hard time based on the data making an argument against me.
Yeah, I think she'll get top 5 in the games this year. But I also think Cary is going to beat her.
Week 2?
Okay. Where are we?
Let's start with South America.
Okay, that's easy.
We'll knock that out. I think that the men is fairly straightforward. And
Sevan, who's going to win the women's? Without looking.
Campos.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. I thought you were going to be like, she's going teams. I was like, fuck. Look at me. I'm working docs right now. I'm working docs. I see the dudes. Where are the women below them? Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Do you like that better with the women below, or would you prefer the women on top?
I prefer the women on top.
We can change it for week 3.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll start with the women.
Okay. This is South America. They do CrossFit there too, if you didn't know. And they get to send 2 people to the CrossFit Games, and that will be decided who they are this weekend. Ryan, John, and Sevan all pick Victoria Campos. Let's go straight to 2. I don't know who Luis Marquez is, but how could you bet against Sasha Neves? Right? Mayhem athlete, been around forever.
She's pretty young. They're all pretty young. I wouldn't say that they've been around forever, but Sasha Neves is definitely more well-known than Luisa Marquez. Luisa Marquez is a Mayhem athlete. She was actually at CrossFit Mayhem training while I was there. She spent a few weeks to a month, maybe months training there this year. And she's quite good. I think she's only 20, maybe 21 years old. She can snatch over 200 pounds. She's short. I think the running will be difficult for her, but the gymnastics and the weightlifting, she should be pretty good. Basically, I think Victoria Campos is the class of this field. I think John would agree with that. And athletes 2 through 5 on our list are the same, just the order is different. And I would be surprised if anyone other than one of those 4 women takes the second spot. Overall, I think that this was like one of the harder picks to make for the second spot for the South American women in the continents that get less spots to the games. But I think that this woman is better than most people know. I think I picked her last year to make it, and she finished 3rd or 4th. There was a drug failure that affected the leaderboard a little bit there, but I think when that person was removed, she was either 3rd or 4th. She's going to be in the mix, and I think she's got a great chance to make it.
Are those bugs? At first, I thought that was rain. I think that's bug. Oh, snow. Okay. Oh, it's her first time seeing snow. Shit. Look at her. Okay. But John, is he just picking her because he knows everyone's going to pick Sasha Neves? She kind of looks like Stephanie Cohen here.
There's
a little bit.
Why is Brian picking her? Holy cow! Look at those lats.
I mean,
hey, she's got games experience, 3 times CrossFit Games teen athlete.
Well, I mean, she's an up and coming athlete in South America. Like everybody gets up on the teens in North America. I think he's just saying that she's improving every year and she hasn't stopped improving. So he thinks this is going to be her breakthrough to the games. And honestly, she'll probably take the mantle from Victoria Campos after a couple of years. I think that's what he's thinking. I picked Sasha just because she's Roman's workout partner, and I figure it'll rub off on her.
She's Roman's workout partner?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
And Mayhem.
No, she's not. Victoria Campos is.
That's never mind. You're right.
Sasha
Right.
Nieves,
I got the mess up.
Sasha Nieves left Cookville like 9 months ago or something. Luisa Marquez replaced her there. So he's picking Sasha Nieves because he thought she was Luisa Marquez, who's Roman's training partner.
So are you changing your pick?
If that's the case, then absolutely. I don't know a lot about South America, so
this.
I'll go to Brian on that. Honestly, Victoria Campos is the only person that matters, and then the other 5, I just went off of the numbers. I don't really know much about them. He knows much more about South America.
Well, that was very good. That was an exhaustive look at the female competition in South America. Boy, I am exhausted from that. You guys know a lot about South America. And to the boys, Brian and John both picked Guy. Is it really like that? Oh, that was fascinating in the article, by the way. I had no idea. So Agustin Riquelme beat Guy Malheiros at the 2021 semifinals. I had no idea. So what happened? What happened? How did Guy pass him up? How's Guy become so dominant?
He said that he was out of shape then, or he wasn't like full fitness during that competition.
And Agustin Riquelme has not really gotten the credit for how good he is, I think. I think he's better suited for the semifinal than the games field, but he got an invite really late to the games last year, and I like that. It's difficult when that happens. I think these two guys are clearly the best 2 in South America. There is, there's always a chance that there's someone coming. But when we look at this list, there's no one on this list that I've not heard of. Every one of these guys is improving. It's just I still think Guy and Agustin are getting better too. And absent something really strange happening, it's hard for me to see anyone taking one of the 2 spots.
You think Guy's getting better?
I do.
Then 7th at the games?
There's a lot of factors in that, right? Because there's other men that can also be improving at a different rate. There can be other men in or out of the field that weren't there last year. I believe that the version of Guy that we'll see at the games this year will be a fitter version than we saw last year.
Do you think he'll beat 7th at the games?
I'll talk about that once I see the full games field. I think there's a chance. This year, I don't think so.
Do you think it's hard to know how good Guy is when he comes to the games as opposed to other people because we don't see him compete against other people? I know they all do the same workouts, but we're not getting to see him, smashed in between Roman and Adler.
I mean, there are certain workouts that regardless of where you do them, we'll be able to, you could say oh, well, maybe there's 2 to 5% if he was in a competitive race in the field that he might have excelled on a specific workout here or there. But, what I'm excited to see is event 5, how well he does on the running there after doing a heavy lift. I'm excited to see how he does on the final workout, like a 4 to 5, a 4-minute time domain where you got to push pretty hard. And if he's able to keep up a high level of intensity for that entire thing. And the first workout where he's got to go long. I know that the weightlifting matters, but he still has to do the 3,000 bike, 2,000 run, 1,000 ski. So those are the ones I'm looking at. I'm not too concerned with his gymnastics and his weightlifting. It's the aerobic domain that he has to prove himself in if he is actually going to be better than he's been in the past. I know he's been working on it, and we will see. But I wouldn't necessarily come away from semifinals and say, oh man, yeah, Guy is definitely better or definitely worse than we thought. Yeah, the test for him is at the games.
Guy is not beating 7th. I agree with you 100%, Mason Mitchell. Listen, there's this book called Black Snowflake. If you want to make the best of your life, go read that book. If anyone gives a shit what anyone else thinks about them in your pursuit to being great, then you're fucking wasting energy. And I think, honestly, I think a lot of these ding-dongs are lost. I think a lot of these ding-dongs are lost in reading and listening to what other people are saying. And I suspect Guy has a healthy phone habit too. Audrey, I think he's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I just think that getting married, he's distracted. He's distracted. Audrey, Brian is an AI bot. Tyler with a very important question. Who is popping in roids in South America? And there was one more down
That's
here.
just the team athletes.
Just teams. Okay, who cares about that? James Townsend, Sevan, I need a Heather Gray CEO shirt. What's Heather Gray? Is that typo?
No, it's a type of gray.
Oh shit. Okay. Send me your text me your address and it will be there and with your size and consider it done. Thank you, Mr. Townsend. I'd be honored for you to put it on. And I'm gonna send you one size too small, if you know what I mean. Get you bulging.
We'll do Oceana next.
So none of these other guys have a chance. What about Kaike Cerveni? Do we only know him because of the nature of his first name is so close to that derogatory slur?
No, I mean I think he's a top 5 guy down there. He competes at Wadapalooza the past 2 years, so we have some data on him. He's good. It's just, he and Augustine, I think, are the class of this field. And like I said, unless there's something unusual, an injury, they run into an unexpected slowdown on one of these, workouts, similar to what, that I think
they pop for roids. They pop for roids.
You think it's possible Augustine has a really, really bad snatch and that pushes him down below Kaike or somebody else?
I will say that he's a smaller guy. Snatching is not his best thing. There are some difficult things for him this weekend, but he also has a chance to have several top 3 finishes, and I think his overall fitness will still prevail.
God, now the show gets serious. We go to Australia at first. No Tia Toomey. She is coming back. She claims she's coming back. She's already stated she's coming back. When she does come back, will she be competing in this region? At what point does she become American?
I think she has an American exemption.
She does? Is that true, Brian?
Because they live in...
And I ask this because it's going to be important for us to get kind of excited about the future of this.
Are you watching this?
Oh, shit. Look at Brian making a fucking last-minute audible.
It doesn't reflect what I posted this on my article. I must have pulled it for someone else. There we go.
Wow. Oh, I'm trying. Damn, Susan, we need to get Caitlin Van Ziel on. The fuck is that? How is that? She keeps dropping through the cracks. Okay.
What's Caitlin doing that makes you so impressed with her?
Oh, hold on one second. Before I just like the way she looks. So is Tia gone? Is Tia not ever?
He thinks you were asking him.
Oh, sorry. That's right. That was stupid of me. Hey, what? Is Tia gone? Do we never worry about her competing in Oceana again? These girls, she's now going to compete in North America.
Most likely, but we don't know, and the rules always have the chance to change.
But she has the same exemption that Katrin Zoder got.
I think she would qualify for it if she applied for it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now the big dog in Oceana is Ellie Turner, and yet she may be gone next year.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
She may qualify for North America. Holy shit. Hey, could she go both ways? Let's say she sees, wow, the girls in Australia suck. I'm staying there.
I mean, if I was her, obviously right now your area of focus should be on taking care of business this weekend. But
right.
We'll get to the women's field in North America West. It's tougher than people think. And there are a few women that opted to go there when they had maybe a choice to go somewhere else. And I think that, one or two of them might be in for a rude awakening, that is not a guaranteed path to the games.
So there will be people who can choose which one they go to? Isn't that interesting?
We've spoken about this before. I personally think that this is something CrossFit needs to ask themselves in the off season. In the case of someone like a Bailey Rail is a great example. She lives in Cookeville, Tennessee, with Tyler Christoffel. And there were people this weekend that were asking me, "Where's Bailey? Tyler's here. Where's Bailey?" I think she still has an address in Missouri from when they used to live there, or maybe she used her parents'
Her
address.
family, her parents live there.
And that's west of the Mississippi. I don't think I don't think that's in the spirit of the rule. Because of the way the rule was written, she was able to do that this year. But I don't think that was the intent when CrossFit put that rule there. It's like you should be competing where you live in North America. And where you reside needs to be where you compete. Yeah. And so
basically where you sleep at night.
Yeah.
I personally think that should be the rule for everyone. While it is like I see Katrin in the North America Westfield and I'm like, dude, she's European. Like I want to see her compete in Europe, but she does live in Idaho. That's not right. And everyone knows that. So I don't have a problem with it. Same way as Ellie Turner. I would not have any problem with her competing in the West because she lives there. Like she's there 365 days of the year, she's there. The only reason she's not is because CrossFit's making her fly across the world to do this. And she wanted to compete there.
It's where you bone. You could say where you bone too.
Yeah. And I know the and I know the conversations or the justifications for having the rules the way that they are. But I think first, I think this is like better to make it simpler. Where are you living? Where are you getting mail? Where are you training? And wherever that is where you should be competing.
I just say trust their word on it. Where do you mostly sleep? And then just if they lie, they have to live with the lie. That's it. Okay. Ellie Turner. I love it that you have it on her on the top of the heap. Is she secure over Jamie Simmons? What happened? Is she guaranteed? No. But
I think.
But is she guaranteed to go?
For me, and John can weigh in on this, I think that Jamie and Ellie are better than everyone else over there.
Okay.
And I think they'll be in a battle for first and second. And I'm guessing he feels similarly.
Why does John have Caitlin Van Ziel down at 6th?
Well, you want to talk about?
And why do you have her above Madeline Sturt? Isn't Madeline Sturt just like a proven fucking, just a proven athlete? No pun intended.
Pick one athlete and ask John about her.
Okay, Madeline. How is Madeline not in the top 3? Why do you have Laura Clifton ahead of Madeline Sturt?
Did she go to the games last year, Madeline Sturt?
No.
That's why I don't have her in this.
Ask. You have to back up did she go the year before?
I don't know. Yes.
No. Oh. And Sevan, was Laura Clifton at the games last year?
No, I don't know. Was she?
She was, but she was on a team. Did she go to the games the year before?
I don't know.
Yes,
did
she beat Madeline Sturt to get to the games in 2021.
Oh shit! I just think Madeline Sturt. I think Madeline Sturt's semifinals last year were absolutely insane. Even though she didn't make it, she had an insane final event, and I think that she's working out with. I think she's probably reinvigorated, knowing that she has to go. They got the new gym at Jay Crouch's joint. I think she's going.
No, what Brian said about Ellie and Jamie is true. They are kind of like a cut above. And then I just picked Laura because she's a bigger girl, and the events so far in semifinals have favored bigger people. I think she'll pull the sled better than everybody else that she's competing against, as far as Caitlin Van Ziel and Emily DeRoy and Madeline Sturt. I think she'll do good on the lifting, and I think she'll do good on the bike, toes to bar, sandbag carry. Like I just think the semifinal events have favored bigger people. At least they did in week 1. And I think I put them all in the same category, those next 4 people. And that's why I picked Laura.
Do you know Caitlin Van Ziel?
No, I don't. Like personally?
Yeah. I don't think anyone's beating her on test 1. I don't think anyone's beating her on test 7.
We'll see. I don't.
Why you think? Why you think she? Because is she a good runner? Why do you say that?
Yeah, good. I mean, she is.
Is she a track athlete? Is she a track athlete?
No. She's is she a track athlete? I don't know.
Okay.
She's great on the machines. She's big. She's tall. She's strong. She's powerful, and I think that these workups line up really, really great for her. As you saw, I had Madeline Sturt ahead of her prior to the workouts coming out, and the thing do not count Madeline Sturt out. She missed the games last year by a handful of points or less. I think it was 3 or 4 points. And the 3 women that beat her took 1st place, 7th place, and 18th place at the games. The last 2 times that Madeline Sturt made the games, I believe she was 19th and 22nd or something like that. And that makes sense with Ellie Turner being the one who just barely edged her out, finishing 18th. I think that Madeline Sturt certainly could have been in the top 25 at the games last year. I think that this is just a case where there are 4 or 5 games athletes still in this field, even without Tia and Cara, and only 3 of them can make it. I think that this is a year that's been going great for Caitlin. She's really, really seems to be in a great place with the coaching that she has from Justin Kotler. And I think that this weekend sets up really well for her. I won't be surprised or upset if Madeline beats her out, but I am giving the slight edge to Caitlin here.
So your reason for picking Caitlin is the same as mine for Laura?
Yeah, I think Caitlin's basically a better version of Laura.
How old is this girl?
Who?
This Caitlin girl?
She's like 27, 8.
She has 2 kids already. Look at her
Oh,
fucking
she's 31.
hand.
She's 31.
Look at her hand on her son. She's like part alien. Yeah, this is the real deal. This is a genetic freak, I think.
I mean, she's good. You know, she's been competing in the team division, so people haven't necessarily gotten to see her.
Wait a second. The teen division? She's been around that long?
Team. No, team.
Her team was top
I don't
5
think
at
she's
the
ever
games 2 years
been.
ago.
She's never been to the games as an individual, right?
Hey, dude, she's
ever
big.
tried.
She's big. This is a big human being.
She's like Taylor Williamson then, and has always just went team.
Very similar in build and career up to this point.
Yeah, she's kind of perfect. She's big, but she's tall and holds well. How tall is she? What is she, like 5'9"?
Let's check the stats. I have them up here.
God, I feel like
171 centimeters.
I don't know what that is. Someone will do it in the chat. Hey, this is like, if checking out the athletes like this is like, I feel like we're like at an auction to buy a horse. I don't know. That one looks like it could run pretty fast.
How is she with legless rope climbs?
A great question. I don't see any rope climbs in her videos. That's not a good sign.
Well, I think what you're gonna see after Ellie and Jamie, I think what you're gonna see is some jockeying for position on the leaderboard, event by event. Like I said, I think she's gonna win test 1. I think she'll do okay in test 2, but a lot, like maybe 10th, 12th, something like that. Test 3, I think she'll do well. Moderate weight stuff for high volume reps is something she's really good at. Test 4 on is the heavy snatch. I think she'll do again like maybe 8th to 12th. The running part of that, I think she'll do better than that. The test 6 is the biggest question mark for her. Test 7, I think top 1 or 2 on that. So I think and Maddie Sturt will be potentially the opposite, right? So she may not do as well on test 1, but she should do better on test 2. She should do better on test 6, not as good on test 7. So I think that there'll be a lot of bouncing back and forth, and you're going to end up with something similar to what we saw with the women in North America West, which is at least spots 3 and 4, and possibly spots 3 through 6 or 7 are going to be, within, 1 to 3 dozen points of each other. There are a lot of young and talented women in Australia. So the rest of the women on this list, from Emily DeRoy to Gemma Hawk to Georgia Pryor to Grace Walton, Brianna Chalice, like all of those women are talented and up and coming. And each of them, I think, will have a standout performance, at least one standout performance where you take note of them if you're watching that semifinal. But at the end of the day, for me, the top 4 are the top 4, and 3 of them will go to the games.
Jake Chapman, my wife is 5'9" and built like a brick shithouse. By the way, this comment has nothing to do with anything, except that Jake's wife is built like a brick shithouse. She's an Olympic athlete and had 2 kids by 30, hard worker, and she bangs like a champ. All right. Well,
by the way,
awesome.
She did say in her response that her weakness is her pulling strength. And so the ruck muscle up and the legless rope climbs will be challenging. We did see this past weekend that you can have a bad performance and bounce back from it, but she's going to have to manage those things well.
Sean M, a very valid question. Is she good at getting slapped in the back of the head with the ruck? Was that happening?
They have the hip belts.
It can
there.
happen, but
yeah. So they have the hip belts there, and if you've tightened the hip belt well, it shouldn't happen. But what many of the athletes were choosing to do is to loosen the hip belt when they got to the burpee box jump so they could breathe. And if you loosen it a little bit, then it does have the chance to slide up. Now there is a little bit of padding in the ruck at the top that, so the soft part of the ruck might be hitting you with not a lot of force, but that's kind of athlete to athlete decision there, because if you tighten it, it should not hit you in the head.
John, there's a question for both of you, but I'll start with you, John. John, are you surprised at how adamant Brian is that she's going to win workouts 1 and 7? And
yeah,
are you?
Yeah, me too. I don't think she beat Ellie.
I'm not. Well, I'm just surprised because I don't normally see Brian be that adamant about a victory. And Brian, is that the most sure you are about anyone in any of these divisions we're going to hear today? Like, is there something is there another athlete you're like, fuck, Colton's for sure winning that?
Brent Fikowski is going to win event 1. I'd bet anything on.
Well, I wouldn't have. I mean, you never know. I wouldn't have bet on Dallin Pepper to beat both Jason and Roman in test 7.
Oh, he murdered that workout.
Yeah, flawless.
Who won it? Who won test 7?
Dallin Pepper.
Oh, right. Okay.
He was the most consistent athlete in the field last week. Nothing worse than a 9th. Adler had nothing worse than a 10th. Hopper had nothing worse than a 12th.
Dude, Dowlen's going to win the CrossFit Games in our lifetime.
Oh, in our lifetime.
Yeah, that was an egregious statement.
What was?
I said that was not an egregious statement that you laughed at.
I thought he said meant this year.
Okay, here we go. No fighting, boys. You stand up for me whenever you want, John. Okay. The men in Oceana, personal favorite of the podcast, Jay Crouch. I don't know who Jake Douglas is. I don't know who Bailey Martin is. It sounds like a girl's name. I don't know who William Kearney is. Ray's something. Reese. And then down in 5th is James Newberry.
He's my bet for not making it through the weekend.
James Newberry.
He's kind of a wild card.
Huge wild card.
Newberry is like you never know what you're going to get with him. We don't even know if he's taking CrossFit seriously. He could be running an Ironman next week.
You think does he pull out? Has he pulled out before?
I mean, if you're training specifically to compete in CrossFit, you should be prepared for this test and be able to last the weekend. But if you're not, and like John said, his interests are diverse between his business, the other physical pursuits that he engages in, which is, I mean, as we've talked about this before, as just a versatile athlete across the full spectrum of what that means. He's in some ways, he's in a league of his own. But he's still great at CrossFit, and if we'll see if he lasts the whole weekend. Yeah, I think he'll be in the mix. But I also think of the athletes here that if there was a guy who I was going to try to say might not make it through the weekend for whatever reason, James is as good a bet as any.
Shells HD. Dallin has no chance of winning the games. Medeiros will eat him for breakfast. I mean, this year for sure. I think I agree with you, but I'm telling you, Dallin I see the future.
Yeah, I didn't hear you out completely there. This year, I would laugh at that comment, but for his entire career, I do think that there's he has the characteristics of a games champion.
Jay Crouch for sure, number one, levels above the rest.
I think so.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest runaway men or women in any field anywhere.
Should we get used to seeing these names with Baden Brown and Royce Dunn gone and
Baden's not there
and Ricky Garrard gone? Should we get used to seeing these names?
Well, Jake Douglas is 32. A lot of these other guys are 10 years younger than him. Bailey Martin's 23. Peter Ellis is 21. Luke Fowler's 23. So those guys, yes, I think those guys are coming and will be relevant in this part of the world for a while. Keep in mind, Ricky Garrard will, be in this field also in future years, and Jay Crouch is young. So as long as they have 3 spots, feels to me like Ricky and Jay are going to be taking those for a long time. But and Jake Douglas, I think this is his best chance at 32 years old with no Ricky, no Royce, no Baden, no Khan. This is an amazing opportunity for him. He's big and strong. He's been getting fitter and fitter. The gymnastics test will be the big question marks for him, but I think there's enough in his favor to kind of offset that he's a good bet to make it. And Bailey Martin, we saw last year. I mean, I think it was on test 1, which had ring muscle ups, long running, and a lot of other things. I think he was extremely impressive in that. John, you might correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was the handstand push-ups last year that really killed his chances to make the games. And so, he's going to have to answer that pressing question with the.
How is he with legless rope climbs? Is he good? It's like if he struggles at that too, I mean, somebody might pull away with it. I kind of like Jay's ahead of everybody by a lot, and then I feel like Jake Douglas is almost in a tier of his own too. I think Jake Douglas is going to be really good this
semifinal
weekend. I think just the events line up really, really well for him. He was second in the Down Under Championship, which everybody in Australia does. And the winner was Jay Crouch, and he was second. So I almost put him in a tier above the rest of the other guys too. And then the third spot's just, I think, can be anybody's game. Obviously, Newberry has been fit enough, but we don't know what he's about.
Yeah, I mean, Bailey Martin last year, he was 3rd on the regional legless rope climb workout, so I think that's fine.
He's good there.
But he was 20th on Strongman Diane that had strict handstand push-ups. So that's, that to me, that's the big test for him. And like we saw with one of the women in the North America, like Emma Cary. Like sometimes that pressing translates horizontal to vertical. So for me, Bailey Martin's biggest questions are the dumbbell bench and the strict wall facing handstand push-ups.
Two things. Hector, I'm going to come back to your question. Sean, if Ricky Kahn, Jay, Royce were competing, that would be tough. I think that Jay and Ricky are.
Yeah, and Baden Brown. And don't forget him. He's always.
But you don't think Jay? You don't think like Ricky's in his own league, and then Jay's in his own league, and then Baden and
yeah.
Royce,
I mean, this is what we talked about last year with all those guys in the field. We're like, it's Ricky and Jay at the semifinal level. Jay has proven to be on par with Ricky. Now, maybe Ricky would have elevated this year, but Jay beat him Didn't he beat him last year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ricky so was second. Those two are still the class of the field at the Torium Pro. If every one of those guys was taking this test, I think I would probably say it's between Royce and Baden for the third spot.
I'd probably say Royce too, just because event one.
These tests
it's not what we thought.
He's one of the best snatchers in the world. He's good at the high skill gymnastics. He's got, he'd
pull the sled,
handle the sled.
He'd be high on the bike,
sandbag, no problem. Like these would have been a great slate of tests for him.
Yeah.
Will Dallin be the first athlete to win the games?
Linda.
And he's good at ring muscle ups. He's good at ring muscle. Yeah. It's not like that work. He might give Jay a run for his money. To be honest with you, I am
kind of. But actually, now that we're talking about it, I'm kind of
with
bummed
this
that Royce
with this slate of events. Like he had a shot at winning.
Will Dallin be the first athlete to win the games coming from the kids division? Has no one from the kids division won the games? Is that?
Mal was going to be the first one.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Good. There's a lot of good questions down here. I've been away for a few days. Is there any reason that day 4, is that really you in that picture?
This is something that I don't have an answer to, and I would like to I'm trying to find an answer to that.
It's still not up. It's still not up, but it's on
I
Twitch.
Checked today.
Okay. That is weird. Jake Chapman, do you think Brooke will be the only top tier athlete not to make it? Do we know what happened to Brooke? Did she get hurt?
So this is what I'll say about Brooke Wells. She definitely, her foot is definitely injured, and I think that what she did on tests 4, 5, 6, and 7 was extremely, extremely impressive and gritty performance. To me, she lost this on Linda. I had heard that she had a sub 12 time on Linda in practice. She won her regional in Linda in 2018. She got to the round of 5 and she was killing it. I think her time would have stood up against everyone except for Barnhart, maybe. And that would have been enough to send her to the games. I'm not sure what happened, but upper body pressing and pulling in, when you hit the wall in that, you have to be like prepared to handle that situation. What are you going to do if you fail a legless rope climb? What are you going to do if you fail the bench press? What are you going to do if you fail the strict handstand push-up? And think about the scenario there. She was in a heat with she wasn't in the top heat at that point in the weekend. So she's competing with 19 other women that have a thimble of notoriety, experience, and credibility to their name compared to her. Everyone's watching. And it was on that tight competition floor where, like, everywhere you look, it's like if you'd ever been like the first time that the press surrounds you when you didn't expect to be, like, you're the girlfriend of a famous boxer, and it's like, and there's just press everywhere. Like, that's what I felt like the environment was for her. And it
for Brooke
and it was like, I kind of felt bad for her. Like, everything was kind of setting in on her. She didn't understand why she was failing this movement, and she kept failing over and over and over again. And
do you mean literally like that? Like the attention on her was like that at the event with just the crowd?
It felt like that. It felt like every camera and every set of eyes and everything was in that heat was on her, because there was, she was in.
She's a superstar.
She's a seasoned athlete,
superstar.
Though. Like,
I know, but dude, listen to Noah Olson. Listen to what Noah Olson said. Noah Olson said, "I don't know why this is my 13th time doing this, and I felt more nerves and anxiety this year than ever before. Like, there's no guarantee just because you've done it and done it and done it and done it that can't happen to you."
Yeah, but you have to feel that. You have to feel it happening. You have to feel yourself blowing up and then account for it.
I'm not excusing it as a. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to help people to understand what might have happened to her on that workout. And even though she did have an injury, and even though she did have some other not great performances, obviously with the ring muscle up and the ruck wasn't great, that I think that was the moment that actually cost her the game spot.
Was Linda? Yeah, no, I agree with that.
What happened to her in the round of 5 in Linda and how many points that cost her, I think, was the difference. And then, like I said, and I think that people should not, you should not take it for granted. The performance that she put on tests 4 through 7 given the nature of how bad that foot was feeling.
And I'm guessing that's what we're going to hear from you and JR and Taylor as a warning to the athletes. Hey, things like ring dips, dumbbell bench press, if those go away, you're fucked. You better be fucking paying attention. Look what happened to Brooke Wells. It cost her the games. And
it's better in that it's better in that scenario to just take a full minute and do nothing than spend 3 minutes failing 5 more reps.
Right. Okay. I hope she's okay. That was hard to see, and it was pretty lame. Some of the comments people were making in the comments in the chat saying that she's a Instagram athlete. She is fucking
Absolutely not.
Yeah, she's fucking world class. She took 5th at the games last year. Just something unfortunate happened. Okay. There was one more. Okay, here we go. Zach Ritter. I saw John at the meetup in Atlanta. He's a super cute girl, in my opinion. Is that? All right.
I think you said Austin, Texas.
Hey man, there's some guys out there that think you're cute. Just take it.
Right. Yeah, but they have his sex all fucking jacked up. That's weird. He looks nothing like a girl. But okay.
He didn't say girl. He said IRL, which stands for in real life.
In real life.
Oh, shit. How do I not know stuff like that? Is that from a girl?
No. Well, we never know.
I saw John at a meetup in Austin, Texas. He's super cute in real life. Wow. No one's ever said that about me. But they said it about John. Oh, yeah, here we go.
I wish people could figure out if I'm ugly or not, because there's so much different opinions.
That's okay. Okay.
Here we are. Wait, oh, shit, I almost turned off the show. Okay, back to the spreadsheet here. So we're done with these guys. Oh, shit. And finally, we're here. Oh, we got lots of time. We're fucking kicking ass. This is awesome. North America West. This is what we've all been waiting for. Harder or easier for the women than is this the hardest? How many go from here?
10, which would be nice if you could scroll down to 10 so we could see the 10th one.
Okay.
There we go.
And is this the hardest division, hardest way to qualify for the CrossFit Games? As opposed to Europe, Oceana, or North America East?
I think
for women,
the East is the hardest. Well, we just saw the hardest.
Ooh, so
Europe, what?
Well, it depends. The East definitely has the best women at the top, but in terms of depth, I'm not so sure. Like what we just saw in the East is that, like we talked about, 8 through 15 was, super small margins. I think we're going to get that again in the West on the bubble.
8 through, but like through what number?
15.
8 through 15, the same thing.
Yeah, maybe even like 6 through 15.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, but I mean, there's more spots to be had, though.
I would draw a line. I mean, I know we have the same person in 6 here, but I would draw a line under the 5th place person. I think the top 5 are better than the rest, and then 6 through 15 here are, pretty comparable, and we have mostly the same women going all the way down to 20.
Dude, you know what's crazy here? The best women in the world might not be here, like the best, but this is fucking crazy. If you're a CrossFit fan, listen to these names: Ariel Lowen, Alex Gazan, Emily Rolfe, Sydney Mikulishin, Danny Spiegel, Christine Kohlenbrander, Bailey Rail, Kelly Baker, Katrin David's daughter, Olivia Kerstetter, dude, Rebecca Fuselier,
Freya Moosbrugger, you skipped over.
Kelly Clark. Oh, yeah, sorry, Freya. I don't know how I did that. Freya Moosbrugger. Dude,
Wilson.
This is crazy.
Stop scrolling left to right.
I don't mean to be. It's my fucking mouse. I'm like fingering it so gently. I swear.
I have heard that you're very gentle.
I'm caressing. This is crazy. This is going to be awesome. How impressive that Ariel Lowen. Is it fair to say that 3 years ago, no one would have ever in a million years predicted Ariel Lowen to be at the top, to be chosen by the two of you to win a semifinal? This is nuts.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
It's like they dusted off an old dog. It's like they dusted off an old dog and like a race car that was in your garage. To polish it up, change the oil, maybe replace a cylinder. Brian?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, no,
I mean, what she did, I mean, she went
from nobody to a staple. She's a staple.
She's not that old. And we talk about it all the time that like 26 to 28 is kind of the sweet spot. So in 2021, when she made that breakthrough, she was 27. It's just she'd been doing it for a long time, and we hadn't seen anything like that from her. It's kind of, it's a bigger sample size, but it's kind of like Nick Matthew. Like we knew he was good. We didn't know how good. Once he made the games, he's like turned into this totally different beast.
And for Nick, I think he has one more year for me to prove it. But like Ariel's like a staple now. She's like a problem. Like she may not win the games, but she's a fucking serious problem. She's going to ruin someone's day. She's going to take points away from someone. For some reason, I'm just not buying the same way I think maybe some people don't buy Danielle Brandon. I'm not buying Nick Matthew yet. I'm still not. Maybe it's
different.
Maybe it's irrational.
Of athletes there.
Maybe it's irrational. What do you mean, Danielle versus Nick?
Yeah, I mean Danielle Brandon should be top 5. I think most people would have her in the top 5, but it's just closer to 5 instead of 1. Nick Matthew, I mean, I don't think is top 10.
Oh shit. Okay, that's gonna be fun hearing you and Brian talk about it. Okay, Ariel Lowen, Alex Kazan, you guys both agree. Emily Rolfe, Sydney Mikulishin, and interesting. 2 similar body types between Sydney Mikulishin and Emily Rolfe, but perform completely different than each other. Right? Completely fucking different. Emily Rolfe can run. Sydney could barely walk.
That's okay. Well, it's Emily Rolfe.
I love Sydney Mikulishin. I love Sydney Mikulishin, but yeah,
in the game amongst games athletes, and it is the thing that Sydney's working on. Yes.
Oh, you said that so nicely. And then why do you have? Where the fuck does Brian have Sydney Mikulishin? Oh, okay, not too far down. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing her at the games. Bailey Rail, you guys both have her going. You both have her going.
She was,
she's really fit.
Yeah, she's very fit. She trains with Paige Powers. We know how much better Paige has gotten this year. We haven't necessarily seen Bailey do the same thing, but I just think back to last year's semifinal. Like she was extremely steady, extremely consistent. She wasn't a story at all in the weekend because she was basically just in 3rd place the whole time. And I think in this field that that 3rd place will translate to a 6th or 7th or 8th, but she's going to be, I feel like probably, I mean, and for my rankings, at least, I feel like Christine Kohlenbetter and Bailey Rail are kind of in that group where they're going to be more like a Noah Olson was this past weekend, where he's just kind of 6 or 7 the whole time. And because he's not contending for a podium and he's not in jeopardy of a bubble, they don't get a lot of attention, except for when they snatch 225 pounds in Christine's case. But after that is where I think the big question marks start coming into play. And there are some huge and massive questions in the women's field in North America West that, to me, like the last 3 spots here were probably my hardest picks in terms of a grouping of athletes. I felt like all the way down to, where's my full list there?
Why do you guys have the 2-time champ so low, Katrin David's daughter? And why did you spell her name wrong? That's disrespectful.
I did not spell her name.
Katrin David's diddle. Why do you guys have the 2-time champ so low?
God, John, you're such a dick.
Where did you guys lose? Where did you guys lose faith in her? Where did you guys? Why don't you see her? How do you have specialists like Danny Spiegel above her?
Well,
how do you
say Danny Spiegel?
How do you have Sydney Mikulishin above Katrin David's daughter?
Because, well, just think
Sydney's
about it.
a child.
Sydney Mikulishin was 2nd place in her semifinal last year. Katrin David's daughter was 6th. Danny Spiegel, you say she's a specialist, but over the last 2 years at semifinals, I think she has like 8 out of 12 top 5 finishes, or maybe even more than that. Like
she does really good in semifinal type competitions, especially when 3 of the 7 events are all power output or strength oriented. She's very good at gymnastics, but like she's not elite at gymnastics, but in this field, she will do fine. As far as like the rankings go, she'll be around 10th in those events. And then she's going to win the snatch. I mean, Christine Kohlenbrenner might give a run for her money, but she's going to be top 2. And then she's probably going to be close to winning the sled event just because the cardio machines don't matter anymore.
And she wasn't actually that bad on the machines last year at the Granite Games. Anyone, the comment of Danny Spiegel will not make the games is just as ridiculous as someone saying Brooke Wells won't make the games prior to last weekend and then saying I told you so after the fact. It's like you're not saying you're not saying that based on any kind of actual statistical or analytical or historical evidence. You're just saying that because either you don't like her or you want to say something to get people's attention.
Or maybe they're concerned about her trip to Saudi Arabia the week before semifinals. and her getting.
That would be
maybe
the
they
most.
know
That would be the most valid of any of the things we just listed. Sure.
Right. Maybe they think she got some sort of bug and has some explosive diarrhea or something that would cause her from traveling out of the country. Taylor Self, Danny, always nice to see Taylor in the comments. The thumb. Taylor will be on a show Wednesday evening. I think it's going to be one of the best shows of the year, by the way. Danny does really well at semifinal level events when the judges don't have the balls to call her shit reps. Oh, that's a little harsh.
I say it's going to be interesting event too to look at her ring muscle ups with the dip and seeing if she gets any no reps during that little complex, because I bet she's riding the line on those.
Oh, this is interesting. You don't. Sorry, John. You don't think she'll clean that up for the event, like consciously? I think she
hasn't before.
Okay.
She might for the first round, but when you get tired, you can't clean things up.
Ariel had a different last name 3 years ago. Is that true? She was Ariel Armstrong. That would also explain. I didn't even know that. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Anything here? You guys just really. Let's talk about Fuselier.
Yeah, scroll down so we can see
kind of bums me out.
6 through 16 or whatever.
Kerstetter. Oh, how about this? What if Kerstetter doesn't make the games?
And she'll compete in the teenage division and win it.
Yeah.
Oh, she can still do that after not.
I'll bet you she's already registered for it.
No shit. Wow. Talk about fucking.
Yeah, I mean, we talked
having
about
your cake
Stephen
and eat
Fawcett.
it too. Right. Okay.
And I just put Olivia 10th just because I want her to make it. It would literally just because I want it to happen, trying to will it to an existence.
She's registered for the games in the teenage division.
Okay.
And so is Trista Smith, and so is Lucy McGonigal, and they're all competing in semifinals for the individuals as well. I think if they make it, that then CrossFit will say which one do you want to compete in, and they'll just transfer their, they'll just transfer their registration fee to the other one and move them to the different leaderboard.
Wait, there's that just registered. There's another teenage girl in here.
Trista Smith. I have her 22nd. John has her 25th.
She trains with Justin Medeiros in the CrossFit Vancouver camp.
I don't see her. 22nd. And where do you have her, John?
25th.
Holy shit.
This is our first semifinal.
Why are these kids doing this to themselves?
Experience.
Is it smart?
How old is she, Brian?
I don't know if she's 16 or 17.
Whew. I guess Olivia is the same age. Oh, it's Olivia, 17.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, even if I click on her thing here, it'll tell me that she's 17, but she could still be 16. That might be 17 when the games rolls around.
Well, look at this shit. Wow. He got another fucking up and coming horse. So he got Knifer has her, Medeiros, and Ellie Turner. Do they have another boy coming up in the ranks too? Anyone?
Uh,
Not that I know of.
No, I don't think so.
Are these the only two teenagers who are doing the?
No, Lucy McGonigal is 16 years old, and she's competing in Europe in week 3.
Holy cow! 2 times CrossFit Games. How did she do in the teens division in the past?
Trista?
Yeah.
Decent, but I don't think winning it. She was second. No, that's semifinals. She was 4th each of the last 2 years.
Does she have any chance in hell, or is this? Oh, I wanted to see her climbing up the rope. Does she have any chance in hell
to make the games as the individual field? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But that's why my answer was she's probably doing this for experience. It's kind of. I know that Haley Adams would have said differently at those times, but when she was going to the regionals in 2000, when she was 16 and 17 years old, that was just good competitive experience to go against women that are older and better than you, and come away with an opportunity to reflect on where there are big opportunities to improve and learn some just being in that competitive environment. And
dude, this is great. It's crazy to see how far this is. How old did you say this girl is? She's 16. Here she is with
17.
She's with Hinshaw, Ellie Turner, Adam Knifer, and Justin Medeiros. That is some crazy fucking experience. I just want to. Taylor
Self is just like losing his mind, texting me about this girl Emily White, and I want to address this as a larger scale thing.
Tell me where she is first, really quick.
John's got her 26. I have her 29. There are athletes like this that are up and coming in the sport. And
was he swearing at you? Was he like, you're out of your fucking mind? Like shit like that?
He really thinks that she's a lot better than we're giving her credit for. And she might be, but we don't know.
Does he train her?
If he might be training her. I don't know. But how he's feeling right now is how a lot of people feel. I had people text me last week and say, dude, Samantha Pugh, dark horse for the games. I'm like,
wasn't close.
I had people text me, Austin Hatfield, dark horse for the games. And he did great. He finished 13th, but there wasn't any data to back that up. There's a lot of people like that. And if you happen to know one of these athletes really well, that's great. Reach out to me and don't say dark horse for the games. Say, hey, Emily White is amazing at X, Y, and Z, and these workouts line up really well for her, especially be on the lookout for her here and here. The biggest challenge for her is going to be this. Then I have some kind of an information that can be helpful in communicating to the world why you should know who Emily White or Trista Smith or any one of these other athletes that don't get a lot of publicity are someone that the public should know about. That's helpful, and I love it if someone sends me that. But if you just say Reggie Foster's going to the games, all I think is that you train with Reggie Foster and you hope he makes the games. There's nothing in that I can do anything meaningful with.
Brian has spoken. Yeah,
I want people who know these athletes well to reach out to me, because I don't know if you noticed last weekend, but when we are featuring athletes on the heats that are broadcast, we try to pick athletes that you might not know that well. I tried to feature Nate Ackerman in the lead up to event number 6. He was doing very well. He was in the top 30. So he was in heat 4. They missed him on the graphic at the start of the heat, but we got him once they got to the row, and he ended up winning his heat and taking 8th overall in that event. I happen to know Nate, and I knew that he was going to do well on that event because people who train with him and know him communicated it to me. So if Emily White's going to do amazing on 2 workouts this week, and she's doing well enough in general to be on the coverage, we'll feature on the broadcast, and we'll get an opportunity to get an athlete that you believe in, that you're giving us good information on, to get a highlight on, and it helps the viewers. It helps us look good as the broadcast. Like, sending that information to me is great, but don't just say dark horse for the games XYZ with no information to back it up.
Hey, listen, for all you knuckleheads who are competing at the in events 1 and 3 this weekend, you have to do this. You have to go by the table when Chase and Adrian or whoever's going to be commentating those events. This is your opportunity. All the people at home want to see you walk by the table. After the event, just go over to the table. Even if you took last place, go over and say hi at the table. Let all of us see you at home. Do it. Swarm that fucking table if you're an athlete after event 1 and 3. After your heat, go over there and say hi. Give Chase, get some camera time. Go over there. Those of us at home who are watching want to see that. Make it fun, make it familial. Those events ended up, CrossFit did a great job calling an audible there, broadcasting those events, doing it guerrilla style. The connection wasn't the best. They'll get that figured out in the future, but this isn't the last time we're going to see this. They're going to start doing events like this. They may even run 2 channels. They may even run, if they're smart, a fantastic, like that super high-end broadcast, and then they may run a shit one like that one we saw yesterday, so those of us who want a little more intimate look can see it. And they'll have like B team, like John Young commentating it. But if you're an athlete, I please do it. I'm not joking. Go over and fucking just slap fucking Adrian in the back of the head and give him a kiss. We'll love that shit at home. We'll eat that up. It's free time for you, especially if you're fucking one of my favorites like a Colton. Go over there and or give him a present. Bring a present out onto the field and give a present for him. Like, hand him a sandwich. Do something. Make a statement. You don't have to show your tits, but like, make a statement. Jay Hartle, not everyone can be in the top 10. This is something that Brian always reminds me of when I start bitching at him. He's like, dude, not everyone can get on the fucking podium. What do you want? Heidi Kroom. Sorry. Hopper also said Taylor Self was better than him, and he didn't even make it to the games, and then got crushed by a pig on the demo team. That's a low blow, but pretty funny. Sorry, were you gonna say something, John? Oh, yeah, Colton in a CK shirt would be boss. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, John, go ahead.
Do you want to talk about Shadburn?
Sure, yeah. Is she on this list? Where do you guys have her? Oh, shit, 20th. Yeah, good bring up. Thank you. Shadburn, 20th on Brian's and 14th on John's.
Why do you hate Bethany Shadburn, Brian?
Before you say that, can we compare her to James Newberry? Is there something there similar going on in terms of like they're showing up? We don't know what the fuck's going on. They're just amazing athletes.
I had Bethany in the 10 spot, and I don't think she's healthy.
That's a shocker.
Why
That's
would she
unlike
come
her.
then? Why would she come then, though? Why would she come then?
I
Does she
think
really
she
wanna make it
should
to the
be
games, or-
removed from the competition for coming in with a prior injury, and not trying hard enough.
Are you being sarcastic, like what they did to Corone, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but comparing her to Newberry makes a lot of sense. There's, she's an athlete. I would say in some regards, Lauren Fisher is like this. Like, we haven't seen her at this level of individual competition in years. And when you have athletes like that, like, we know Lauren Fisher's qualified for the games before. We know Bethany Shadburn has won semifinals before, but we don't know where they're at right now in their training and their fitness, and in Bethany Shadburn's with her overall health. And it's really difficult to assess. The field's, like we've talked about, it's not super, super strong at the top, but it's a pretty deep field. There are athletes all the way down to, throughout the top 30 that I'm like, and they can do a lot better than I'm giving them credit for. There's question marks all over the place.
Dark horse for the games, Manny said.
Manny C. Serrano, who I had a drink with at the beach in Newport Beach one time, which was nice. I think he even paid. And I met his son. I see Bethany train almost every day at the gym. She looks fantastic. No one's questioning whether she looks fantastic. We all agree she looks fantastic.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. If there was an 11, we could give it to her. But how's her rig doing? Is it functioning on all levels? Jay Hartle trying to correct me on the name Fusale. Thank you.
Bethany's just somebody that I want to believe in. I was all in on her on the 2021, and then something always happens to her, and it's just hard to. It's almost like the boy who cried wolf. Like, I really, really want her to do good, and I root for her, and then she just something always happens, and she always gets hurt or something, or she gets COVID. I don't know. It never happens. So it's hard. I'm not going to rank her very highly until she actually does it.
So number 12, Brian, you have so I leave my house every day for a variety of reasons, but it's only like a handful of reasons: to take my kids to the skate park, take them to tennis, take them to jiu-jitsu, and maybe go to the store.
It's
and
one reason. It's for
get some meat. But then there's the fifth reason that I do leave occasionally, and it's to drive around town and stop somewhere and get a cup of coffee, hoping to see Kelly Clark. And none of you and I do run into her. Sometimes I get lucky, and I run into Kelly Clark around town. I'd say at least once a month. Why, boys? She only missed it last year by 1 point. And let's be honest. You have Kerstetter above Kelly Clark.
I said that was a heart pick.
Come on, what's going on? Really? I have a feeling you guys think she has no chance in hell.
I feel like I've said 3 times already that I think everyone down to 20 has a chance.
Okay, well, I'm just emotional.
But more realistically speaking, I would say everyone down on my side of the picks. I think that there's a cutoff after 15. So Lauren Fisher, Rebecca Fusile, Kerstetter, Kelly Clark, and Chloe Wilson are women that all of them I gave strong consideration to picking as one of the last 3 spots. And for me, when I evaluated them against Kelly Baker, Freya Moosbrugger, and Katrin Davidsdottir, I thought those 3 women had a slight edge over them. But I'm not super confident in those picks, and every one of them is going to have to earn it on the competition floor. And if any of those 5 women end up making it, I will not, I won't be surprised. Like Hartle said, there's only 10 spots. And when there's 15 women that you believe are good enough to make it, it's hard to make picks and leave people out, but it has to be done.
Why? What do you think her shortcomings are, Kelly's? What workouts do you think she's going to struggle in? Or you think
power output, top end strength?
Okay.
Which is the majority of the semifinal.
Yeah, and if you're specifically evaluating her against Olivia Kerstetter, you could say, well, Kerstetter's got the edge on test 1, and you could say Kelly Clark's got the edge on test 2, and you can say Kerstetter's probably she's got the edge on test 3, she's got the edge on test 4, Kelly's probably got the edge on test 5, Kelly's got the edge on test 6, Olivia's got the edge on test 7. So having Olivia slightly ahead of Kelly makes sense. Unless you think, okay, well, how are they going to fare relative to the field? In a head-to-head battle, you might take Olivia 4-3 against Kelly. But if you think that Olivia's relative struggle on the 3 test she's going to struggle with is worse than Kelly's compared to the field, then you might say, yeah, Olivia beat her on 4 out of 3 tests, but I still think she's going to edge her out for the weekend. That's where I landed. John obviously landed on the other side of that.
If you are not a Kelly Baker fan, you might not recognize the name. Go over to her Instagram and start following, because it's worth being a fan. I cannot fucking imagine her making it to the games. I do not know why. I'm a huge fan, but you guys both have her going to the games. What did she do last year? What
she didn't try to compete last year.
No, but she's looked phenomenal this year. Kelly Baker has, like, throughout the quarterfinals. Her scores compared to other scores, I think, justify her position here.
She's another one, right? It's kind of like it was a car that was left in the garage, got all dusty. She dusted it off. I mean, it'll be an Ariel Lowen type story if she makes it, right?
I don't know about.
I mean,
you think
the thing is, Ariel Lowen has backed that up with great performance after great performance in a vacuum. And of course, Ariel Lowen also won her semifinal in 2021. So Kelly qualifying 7, 8, 9 compared to Ariel Lowen winning and beating Emma Cary and Mal O'Brien is a little bit of a different achievement. If she finishes 3rd and then goes on to finish 15th at the games and then backs it up by, doing that again next year, then yeah, we can make that comparison.
God, I have to show her Instagram. She is something else.
No, she's a specimen.
Yeah, this is fucking nuts. This is kind of going to be a weird thing to say, but I think of Kelly Baker as like a woman, not an athlete. I don't know what the difference is, but I see her as like, I don't know, but what a fucking creature.
But yeah, I mean, she got 4th in North America West in the quarterfinals.
Has she ever been to the games? Has she ever been to the fucking games?
As a team.
Yeah, this is fucking nuts. Good on her. What a fucking savage. We got to get her on here and ask her, like, what did she do? Like, what happened in her year off, and like, how old is she, Brian?
Late 20s, I believe.
Yeah,
and
right.
Boy,
it is fucking. This chick is fucking nuts. Look at she's already rucking.
Oh, what time it is? Tell me, do you know?
She's how old? How old is she?
31. 31. A little older than I thought.
I think she's a school. I think
games
she's a school
experience
teacher.
From 2016 team and 2022 team.
But she did the fittest experience previous this year, and I saw her there, and she was just killing everybody. She looked very, very impressive. I mean, it's not like she had a big field to go against, but
But if you're a games athlete, that was what was so surprising about Luke Parker, is that he was at the fittest experience and he finished 7th. She was at the fittest experience and she won. So we have a recent live competition where if you're talking about someone who's good enough to make the games, we would expect you to do very well at that competition, and she did.
Yeah, something happened. We got to figure out what happened. Like, she all of a sudden just decided, like, fuck this. I'm gonna take one more fucking shot at it. Something happened. She took a year off, and then now she's like, God will do some extraordinary things if you pray hard enough. Oh, look at those chairs. Did you see that? See-through chairs at the wedding. All right, shit. This is gonna be a great fucking read. I'm gonna have so much fun at this. I kind of almost wish I was going.
It's not too late.
Quiet. Who else we got on here that we want to talk about? Anyone?
Sevan, it would be so great to see you there.
Thank you.
It's been so long since I've been able to give you a hug.
I of course I love Alex Kazan. She deserves a whole show to herself. I'm glad to see you guys have her so high.
Sevan, go down to 11 through 15 and tell me the one woman that's outside that you know is going to be inside and make it to the games.
Fuslie.
I think we both, yeah. You knew he was going to say that.
Fuslie for sure. And I don't think if I have to pick someone who's not going to finish the event, I'm not going to say it.
So the reason for Kelly Clark not making the games is the same reason for Rebecca Fusile, but it's tenfold.
One more. Oh, it's tenfold for Fuselier.
Yeah, like power output is her weakness, but like she will be behind so many more people on the machines, on the sled pull, do you know where her max snatch is, Brian?
85 pounds.
So the thing about the West,
God, I
women,
love her. Do not fucking make it so she doesn't go, guys. Don't
Her weaknesses, I think, will be very exposed here. Like, she'll have strengths too. Like, she could have won event 2, but her weaknesses will be exposed hard, or win event 6.
The West women are, as a whole, have much heavier snatches than the East women. So you'll be punished a little bit more severely with a weak snatch in the West compared to the East.
Not what I want to hear. Not what I want to hear.
Like the tops, like even at the top, the best snatch in North America East was Danielle Perrin, who's a former Olympic weightlifter. But she had 210 pounds. I think I'm scrolling through it now, but I think there's like 4 or 5.
Branner and Spiegel have both done 225.
Right. Hannah Black, 220. Chelsea Nicholas, 205. Ellie Miller, 215. Emily White, 200. Olivia Kersetter, 202. Sydney McCallishan, 200. Like, there's a lot of women that are, and then there's a bunch at 195, 192, 190. There's a lot of women with 190 plus, and more women in the West and the East with 200 plus. So top to bottom, this field is just better at snatching. You were asking about Fusile. Her listed 1 rep max is 170 for the snatch.
Hey, really quick, watch her
hear that.
175 for a snatch.
170 is her listed. Maybe she's done more than that, but even if it's 180, she's still going to take a much bigger hit in the West field than she would in the women's field with that same number.
And in event 5, I don't know if she can do 8 touch and go with 125.
Oh no.
Which
now, the one thing I will say about Rebecca Fusile is every live competition I've ever been at, she has impressed me, and specifically impressed me with her strength relative to what I thought was possible for her. Last year at the MAC,
she's just a little bite.
Workout, she did. I mean, I thought that last barbell would crush her. She crushed it. At the Wadapalooza this year, the first workout, the rings and the squats, I thought she would get crushed by the barbell. She did not. She overexceeded my expectations there as well. I'm not sleeping on her. I'm just telling you that at the cut line, it's a very dense group of athletes with a similar chance to make it. And like John is saying, her overall skill set relative to what this particular slate of tests is looking for, it's going to be a challenge.
But she'll be a sight to see on event 6 and 2. Like, I think she'll blow people out of the wall. Like, event 6 and 2, she could win both of those.
She's like one of those little bacon Greers at Starbucks. Like, she's just like a little bite. She does have the coolest fucking outfits. Fuck, that one is cool as shit. Oh man. She last year was the first year she made it to the games.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a teen athlete?
I think so, yeah.
So you think that there's a chance she's going to have like 2 35th place finishes? Is that's what you're saying? 3?
Yeah.
Or lower.
Or lower, yeah.
If he made it, so will Becca. Thank you. Thank you. Except
but like what Brian said, the West is stronger than the East.
Barry McCockiner, $2. Thank you, buddy, for the money. God, I hope you're rich. You give me so much money. A new post from Brian Spin. Noble laid off 75 employees. Just woke employees. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, we'll go out and buy myself.
And then I didn't even think about Linda, but she's probably not going to do great in Linda either.
Here we go. Oswaldo. Oh, that's interesting. Oswaldo Gonzalez. If Sydney Wells was able to qualify with a 0, I have bigger hopes for
right.
Rebecca.
But you need to understand that the difference of these two fields. So the women's field in the East was super top heavy. There were 6 women there that were just in a different category. And Sydney was at the top of this really, really tight group of women for the next 10, 12 spots or so. In the West field, there's still going to be a couple of women at the top like that. And this is what we've been saying is 6 or 7 through 15 or 16. It's going to be very similar. If you're a big Rebecca Fusile fan, yeah, you should definitely have hope. She's what?
I am. I'm just raising my hand. I'm a big Rebecca Fusile fan.
She's not out of the equation. She's not out of the mix. It's just that it's gonna be challenging for her, and we're gonna have the same conversation on the men's side, where there are people that are really good, really talented, definitely capable, and have a huge fan base, and they're gonna be left out. There's just not enough spots. that's okay. Like they,
And I mean, I just think the events hurt her like more than a normal. Like across 15 events, I would put her in the top 10. But
wow,
across
barbell
these 7
spin
events,
going hard, dude. We got to spend a weekend together. Are you out of your fucking mind? Mr. Spin calls John. This is huge, guys. Listen up carefully. Barbell Spin, Brian Spin, who we work very intimately with, John Young and I and Tyler Watkins this weekend, is calling John Young's picks trash. Prepare for fireworks on Friday when we begin the best coverage in the space.
I'll be talking with him on tomorrow. So we'll
be knocking on your door in 15 minutes, Spin.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Oh, okay. I want to pick Alex Gazan is going to win event 7. And
that's your pick?
Yeah, and eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
It's sad that we're not going to be able to see her event 3.
Oh, we will. We're gonna see it. They're gonna fix it. I'm hearing some good rumors. Hey, what are the movements for event 7? I just know that at the end she has to pick up the sandbag. Oh, it's the toes to bar. What's the other thing?
The 15 or 10.
Oh yeah. Gazan event. Gazan. Oh shit. Oh, Spiegel's gonna be good too. Oh, it's gonna be good. You guys, it's gonna be so good. Bailey Rail. Any? Are we gonna see Bailey Rail ever get stopped and just sitting there with her thumb in her butt? Like, oh shit.
I think she'll be like very consistently 8th through 20th place in every event.
Good,
and that's where she'll be.
I'd like to see her.
Yeah, her big. I mean, probably her worst finish comes on the 1 rep max snatch test.
All right. I'm taking it. Oh, here we go. You guys ready? Oh shit, we're supposed to be done with the show 11 minutes ago.
I was planning for 2 hours.
We're good. Okay, good. All right.
Especially
finally, we're here.
Minutes talking about last week.
We're here. The champ, Justin Madera. Holy shit, John. Are you out of your fucking gourd? Both of you. How do you guys have Brent Fikowski beating Samuel Quant? Oh my goodness.
What?
Okay. I'm telling you, Quant's gonna be. This is Quant's. Quant may win the 3rd workout and the 7th workout.
He could.
And the first workout.
Oh, man.
And the first workout. Do you have Justin? Do you guys have Justin Medeiros winning? You have Justin Medeiros. John, please remove yourself. Look at this. Oh shit! They're coming with pitchforks already. Do you have Justin Medeiros? Either of you guys winning any workouts?
Oh,
I think.
Careful, you guys could go to hell. You could burn in hell for this.
I think if he's going to win one, it'd be the 2nd one. But the problem with that is there's a man named Colton Mertens.
What's the 2nd workout? Give us a little refresh.
The ring complex, pistols, and then the burpees over a 30-inch box.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. He could win the event 5, the 800-meter run, the snatches in the 800-meter run. Other than that, I don't think so.
I actually think he might win the last one.
Medeiros.
Yeah.
Just because it's champ shit
to win the
last event.
Enough?
Yeah. And I think his midline stamina is as good as anyone's, and the sandbag's a total non-factor for him. So yeah, I mean,
Richie Rich with the little Conor McGregor impression. Who the fuck is Mitchell Stevenson?
Where'd you have Mitch? Let's see what John.
He's around.
He's around.
John
Mitchell Stevenson's competed in the West Regional a ton. There's a lot of good battles, like 2016 to 2018 in the regional. If you just type in CrossFit West Regionals, he does really, really good, and then he kind of bombs an event.
He qualified 5th in 2018 in the West Regional. We were at Sevan, and he qualified ahead of like 5 or 6 men that weekend. You were like, how the fuck did this guy beat all these guys?
Yeah.
And he's gotten better since then. And I think these workouts are amazing for him. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him, and
myself included.
What do we have to do to get Anthony Davis in there?
Have what 2 max snatch events?
God, I really want him to go to the games.
He's lost weight. He's improved his conditioning a lot, but I just don't think it's enough.
I mean, he's a spectacular athlete. I mean, he's huge, but he can still do 50 pull-ups, right? I mean, he's a spectacular human being. No chance. Neither of you guys got him. No one wants to be like, yeah, there is a chance. No one's throwing him a bone.
Oh, you got Chandler out and Colton.
Okay, how about Cole Sager?
Brian.
How about Cole Sager?
It's way less egregious to have Chandler and Colton out than Cole Sager.
I don't know. I don't think these are good events for him, man.
That is a good point. That is a good point what Brian just said.
There's a lot of heavy snatchers, and he's not one of them. And I think,
oh my gosh, dude.
Okay, let's look at the top. John, you really think Patrick Vellner's
before we get
Medeiros?
into this? Oh no,
Okay.
We can go to the top. We can go to the top.
Okay, so
I'm just opening my door.
So I would not pick Vellner ahead of Medeiros in the games. This is kind of like a Roman Adler situation. Like I wouldn't pick after. I mean, I might now the way Adler performs, but I had Adler beating Roman, and don't think he's better than Roman. And I feel the same way here. I have Vellner beating Medeiros, but I don't think he's better than Medeiros. It's just the slate of events I think stack up really, really well for Vellner. His best lift is snatch, other than deadlift. He's got a chance to win the ring muscle up burpee workout. Anytime there's ring muscle ups and burpees, he's amazing. He's going to be really good at the sled. I think he's going to be fine with the sled pull too. Since that workout is a sled oriented workout, it's kind of just size helps you, and he's bigger than Medeiros. I took them kind of event.
Is that
by
true?
event.
Is that true? Vellner's bigger than Medeiros?
Yeah. Medeiros like 5'8", and Vellner's 5'11". And I just think if it came down to the last event, I think he's a better biker than Medeiros. And I think his toes to bar will be fine for 3 sets of 20. As far as Linda, I kind of think they're the same. I think their bench press is the same. Vellner did very good in Linda when they had it in 2018. I think he got second in his region. So I don't think he's going to be fine with that workout. And then the 6th workout will be the telltale, but they both are not elite at that type of handstand push-up. Medeiros is not going to pull out Morad like 20 handstand push-ups. And I think they'll be very close together in event 6. So I just went event by event, and I think Vellner's going to be better at just this slate of 7 events than Medeiros. And that's why I picked him over Justin.
God, he looks like a fucking orangutan, isn't he? He looks huge. Look at these body positions he gets in. It looks like he's doing the right stuff too, right? I mean, this is only Instagram, but we're seeing him snatch and bike.
And toes the bar. Look at that.
Yeah, it looks like he's cracked the code.
Yeah, man, Vellner's great. This is going to be a fun. It's going to be a fun weekend. I do think it's going to be close at the top. I think there's going to be a close battle for the podium, and I think there's going to be a lot of men that are going to be in the heat of that cut line race. I think you'll see, a lot of men bouncing in and out event to event. If you just look at the guys on our lists that are, I would say, maybe 6 through 14 is the range here. I think we have all the same guys in there, 6 through 14. No, you have Oscar Mora in, and you must have someone out that I have in. But anyway, it's mostly the same guys. And who do you have out? Oh, Bill Leahy. You're not a Bill Leahy fan. Okay.
Or Cole Sager.
No, but he's in that range. I think everyone
in the range.
We have the same top 5 in the same order, other than Pat and Brent. And then there's a cutoff. And from 6 through 14 on our lists, the only person that you have in that I don't is Oscar Mora, and I have Bill Leahy in. I think you'll see some big time shifts between that 6 and 15 spot as the weekend goes on, event by event, as some people will have incredible events, like an Anthony Davis, who will win the snatch and then probably take 40th on the running right after it. And you'll have other guys that do the opposite, maybe like a Bill Leahy, who takes 40th on the snatch and takes second on the run or first on the run. So you're going to have
deal with this dude.
Swings.
What's the deal with this dude? This dude's legit. This William Leahy the 4th.
Oh, Brian loves Bill.
He's raw. He's only 2-3. I think he's 3 years into the sport right now. He's a taller, slender guy. He reminds me a lot of Brent Fikowski from 2013-14 time period. I don't know that he has the experience and savvy of the competition floor to qualify against this difficult of a field yet. So I have him there on the outside looking in, but I certainly think that he'll be in the mix on some workouts. I mean, he impressed me last year with his barbell complex. So I'm excited to see him snatch and see not necessarily how well he does, but how heavy he can snatch. He's one of the fastest adapters to this sport that I've seen in a while, given his low level of competition age as a CrossFit, as training the CrossFit methodology. And I think
he's probably the best legless rope climber in all of CrossFit too.
No shit.
Yeah.
Hey, is he a crazy super athlete too? Look at this is pretty. What's his background? This guy's
Let me see if we
beast.
have any data on that.
I mean, I would
Hey,
guess.
boys, everyone get their own fucking pull-up bar. What are you guys doing? The fuck off there. It's too close. One guy per pull-up bar.
Yeah,
Has he been? Where's this?
Our,
Where's this? Oh, this is last
he's
year's?
a basketball player. Legless rope climbs and running, and strength work is what he's been targeting this year, which is no surprises there.
And a lot of jumping in his Instagrams. Homie got jumps. Oh, here we go. Let's see him on this rope. How's his bench press? How's his Linda going to be?
Big question. Don't know. Don't have any data on him for that.
Just a kid chasing a dream. This is a year ago. William Leahy the fourth. I wonder if that makes him soft because he's a fourth. You know what I mean? Like he was babied and shit. All right, he's good inverted. Chase was regarding which workout is it? The one with the handstand. What number is that workout?
Event 6.
Event 6. I love the way Chase was referring to it as having landmines. That's what I was searching for last week. I knew there was some great metaphor for it. Any of these guys going to fall in the landmines? Any of these where you're like, oh shit, a Chandler Smith could lose all his opportunities on blah? Like anything where you're concerned about? How about
I love it when you ask a broad question. Any of these guys, and then I start thinking about all of them, and you go, and specifically Chandler, and it's like, yeah, I was just thinking about is no longer relevant.
Like, is there anyone here who you see it? Like, if we had Laura Horvat here and there were handstand push-ups, you guys would be like, hey, we would zoom.
I mean, I think Anthony Davis could struggle with the legless rope climbs.
I'm more curious to see how he does on the pirouette handstand walking.
Davis.
Yeah, he's dealing with a shoulder thing. And he did not get surgery for it. He just let it heal normal, so he doesn't have the greatest of mobility in his shoulders. Other than him,
so
I don't know, Nick Matthews should do really, really well in that event.
What I'll say is about this entire group of athletes is 1 through 10 for me, I think are all 1 through 11, I think are all games athletes. But two guys can't make it. And so when trying to pick who are the guys I'm going to leave out, I know Chandler did the quarterfinals with a broken wrist and made it through, but like that has my attention as being problematic. Think about the demand on the wrist of this weekend. I don't know what the state of that wrist is, but if it's not 100%, I think this is problematic. So that's kind of why I left him out. And as far as Colton Mertens goes, it pained me to put him 11th, but I just think this slate of these workouts are not very good for him overall from start to end. And I think that
I think he'll win 3 events.
3?
Yep.
Who's this? Who?
No, he's not.
I think he'll. Do you want to make a bet and give me good odds?
Who?
Colton Mertens.
Oh God, I love you, John. Yeah, fuck yeah, he is, Brian. What are you talking about?
I think he'll win event 2, 3, and 6.
Yeah, I'll take that bet.
Okay,
I'll bet you win. No, here's the bet.
5-1 odds on $10.
No, I bet he wins 0 events.
0 events?
1 and 2 is a wash. 0 and 3. So that's the bet. If he wins 3, you win. If I win, it's 0. $100.
I'll do that.
Dude, he lives in the middle of the country. That's like 2 months pay right there. Benjamin McClellan. Hey, Sevan, I'm going to homeschool my son. He's only 1 now. Me and my wife both work full time, but we're definitely going to do it. What would you advise for starting out? Here's the thing. My kids get pretty much absolutely 0 screen time. 0. They're not allowed to ever fucking touch my phone. And every single person who meets my kids are like, holy shit, these kids have incredible focus. This last week, Hiller was fucking around with them. He's like, I've never even met any human beings who can focus like that. Do not give your kid a fucking phone ever. No screen time. And when you do start screen time when they're like 3 or 4 years old, it's TV on Friday and Saturday night, and it's a fucking movie.
It's UFC only.
Yeah, UFC only. Yeah, thank you. No, and that's it. You don't need to teach your kid anything. You need to make sure their mind doesn't close so that they're capable of learning new things at all times. And thank you for the question. Very important question, always relevant when talking about kids. Another rant. Not another. Oh shit, David Weed. Here we go again. God damn it. Sevan pays Brian $100 per show, minus $99. Okay. Tutor Magda, you got him on the line.
Yeah, where'd John have him?
Basically on the line too. I know this guy only Leonel Franco because I always struggle with his name, but I don't think he has any business in going to the games. Nor Mitchell Stevenson. But
Mitchell Stevenson's got more than Leonel Franco, more business.
Isn't it? It's incredible that you guys have the top 5 identical.
I'll tell you this about Mitchell Stevenson. Like I because at this point I did what John did for Vellner and Medeiros is what I'm doing at the cut line. I'm looking at each guy and each workout, and what I'm really looking for is, can they have a top 5 finish, or how many top 5 finishes compared to outside the top 20 finishes can they have? Because at that point, that's the breakdown for me. And I think Mitchell Stevenson is going to have very few of either, whereas the guys around him, I think, are much more likely to have both, but in particular to take some big hits.
Where do you think Leonel would take his hits?
He's a fascinating athlete. I mean, he's been working his ass off. I think he's getting better and better. I think he's getting stronger and stronger. For me, it's a good question to ask. I think that his biggest
he's very gymnasty.
I think his biggest struggle is experience, and I don't even want to say conditioning, but I want to say pacing, like knowing when to push and not overdoing it too early in a workout. So like, I won't be surprised if he comes out hot on test 1, but I want to see how he does in the last 5 to 8 minutes of that test.
What the fuck is this guy's Instagram?
Leonel?
He has Instagram for sure.
Here's what do you want to know what I hear, John? I hear that Brian's made friends with this guy, and that there's a little home
at Leo
Mitchell Stevenson. He's made
Leonel Franco. I think Leonel Franco and Brian are DMing or some shit. I hear it in Brian's voice.
He's out of his top 10, not top 9.
Yeah, I think having him where I have him is that's a suggestion of someone who I think has games potential, but I don't think he's quite there yet.
Wait, what's his Instagram again? Tell me. I want to see.
LEOLA.
LEOLA.
FLEURR.
Oh, got him. Thank you. Jesus Christ, dude, use your fucking name, bro. How the fuck are we supposed to find you? Oh, yeah. I remember this guy. Okay. I remember this guy. This guy's good. Yeah, this is like Europe's Jake Berman. This guy's American?
There was a guy named Marcelo Clarizio competing last weekend, and someone's like, this guy's American? And I'm like, they're all American.
I can't fucking believe this. This guy just looks as foreigner as they fucking get. God, look at how big Elijah Muhammad is.
American. He's North American East, baby.
All right.
Catherine's American.
And how the fuck, if you're American and you look like this, at least be from Miami.
I mean, LA is like.
I guess you're right. Okay, so is he training with Elijah Muhammad? There's a lot of him and Elijah.
They both are a strike movement, like me.
That's an app?
No, it's a shoe.
Oh.
Well, they make clothing too, which is great.
Is this guy little?
He's getting bigger. I mean, he's lean, but he's getting
stronger. I know he snatches 295.
Yeah, he is no slouch. This is a very difficult field.
This guy is gangster. Look at this picture. This is like some Scarface shit. I'm digging.
I would say he's kind of like my Cole Greasesaber. Like, I know Brian really likes Cole Greasesaber. He picks him high every single time he's in anything. I like Leonel Franco.
Yeah, except
Oh
Colt
shit,
Grieshaber-
he lives
except
with the
Colt-
world-class poker dude.
Except Colt Grieshaber's made the games and was top 5 at Wadapalooza. Like he
Yeah,
actually
he
has,
was.
he
Yeah.
actually has performances in live competition against elite level athletes.
I know,
that
but you were
back up
picking
my
him
pick
high
of him.
before he did that. You were just you like you some. He's like Will Leahy for you. You have your guys you like.
Hey, does that guy live with the poker player that's friends with the lady who was on my podcast last night? Because that would be a small world collide. Oh, Jake Chapman, that's not gangster, that's gay. Like Omar from The Wire. Got gangster, gay gangster. All right, back to the list here.
Hold on. Who wins? Who do you think Colton's not going to win anything? Who wins?
Don't
those
let him
events?
get in your head, John. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He just lives in Chicago.
What test?
Who wins event 2?
Medeiros,
Who wins event 3?
That's cool.
Fellner, or maybe Quant,
And who wins event 6?
Nick Matthew.
I feel very good about all of these now. Those are the guys that you picked. I didn't know if there was some specialist I didn't know about, but since those are your picks, I feel much better.
Hey,
Right.
if you guys
0
wanna,
and 3.
if you
It's
guys
most
wanna-
likely going to be 1 or 2 events that he wins. But
Right.
you always
No.
say this.
I
stuff.
like the 0-3 bet. I like the 0-3 bet.
But you always say this about Colton, and I check you on this every time. Let's look at last year. How many events did he win last year? 1.
It's about the events, Brian.
I know, but you're always like, no, this guy's going to win these events, and he wins 1 event at best.
which was pretty amazing.
He won 2 years ago. He won 1 the year before that, and now he's competing against a field that's
Hey,
twice as
listen.
good with. I would say the 2 best semifinal athletes in the world in his division. Like Medeiros and Vellner could go top 3 on everything other than the snatch.
That's fair.
Listen,
That's
Brian,
fair.
you're saying that he's going to win 0, and John's saying he's going to win 1. That's like the
No,
difference.
John's saying he's going to win 3.
Well,
I
okay,
said he's
John's
gonna
saying he's going to win
3.
3, but you're saying he's going to win 0, and that's like saying like.
But in reality, we all think he's going to win. I think he's going to win 1.
Oh,
or
you
2,
do? Okay,
not
okay,
3.
okay.
And I think it's
Okay.
just as likely that he wins 0 as he wins 3. So it
Okay,
wasn't
so you
gonna-
were just being fair with
Well,
John.
you didn't
don't take
predict him for
advantage
any of them
Okay.
there.
No,
Let's
but I'm
go
telling you
through
the
it,
guys
see.
that I think are his biggest challengers on those workouts.
Let's
I
do
think
this really quick. Let's
Okay.
do this real quick. We'll be really fast about this. Workout 1 for the men in North America West is 4 rounds for time. It's the long echo bike, assault runner. Oh no, wait, what the fuck is this? Where the fuck am I?
You're
on
on
the
teams. You're on teams. Scroll down to the
Right.
yellow button. Scroll down.
Oh, thank you.
Click on individual.
At least I caught that. I mean, at least I caught it, right?
No. You're in the right. There you go.
Okay, look at event 1, 3,000 meter echo bike, then the pull of the sled, then 2,000 meter on the assault runner, then the pull of the sled, 1,000 meter on the ski erg, and then the pull on the sled. Who's going to win in the men?
Fikowski.
Okay, so you guys both got Fikowski.
Fun video. I think it's 2017.
If you want to pick someone other than Fikowski on this one, I probably would go.
Maybe Anthony Davis.
No, he's not good enough on the machines compared to these guys. I mean, it's for me. This is actually a Sam Quant style workout.
Yeah, Sam Quant will be really good in this one too.
I like it. I could pick San Quant for any of these. Okay, the second workout, 5 ring complex. Someone's shoulder will get blown out. 20. I'm sorry, apologize, boys. 20, and I sure as fuck hope it's not the champ. 20 single leg squats. Max burpees over the box. Who's going to win this, Mr. Young?
Colton.
Justin.
Wow. And who's your backup, Brian?
Vellner.
Wow. Okay.
I also think Nick Matthew will do well on this. Stevenson will do well on this. Cole Sager will do well on this. There are going to be some good performances here.
Workout
And Scott Tetlow will do well on this.
Oh, wow. Oh, shit. Tetlow might crush this one, too. Workout 3, Linda with dumbbells.
Yeah, actually, we weren't even looking that far down, but Tetlow, yeah, he could do well on Linda for sure.
He's like, he right now probably has a fucking wooden dowel in his mouth listening to this, being like, you fucking idiots. Of course I'm going to win that one.
I think Vellner or Colton will win Linda. I think 2 and 3 is both Vellner and Colton.
I mean, again,
Medeiros could win this one too.
Yeah, Medeiros will be right up there. This is,
that's got to be easy as fuck for Quant too, right? Quant's going to destroy Linda. He's a horse.
Yeah, Colin will be really good at this one too. It's a lot about it is the bench press, and you just don't know who's going to handle that the best.
Are we going to see a Brooke Wells incident with the boys, the big boys?
I doubt
it's possible.
But you
could.
Mean,
it's definitely possible that you get to the middle, the 5-4 part of this workout, and someone just hits a wall on the bench press like that. It's definitely a realistic possibility. But I think if you manage it well, that you can avoid that. And you don't remember, like, if you're trying to qualify for the games, and we're not talking about Vellners and Medeiros this year, if you're trying to qualify for the games, you don't need to be flawless. You just can't have that huge blow up. Like, that's what you want to avoid. And especially early in the weekend, because then that's where panic sets in. The pressure starts to mount. So if you're not confident on the bench press, just get through it, accept your position. It was kind of like what James Sprague said about test 6. He's like, that was the 24th place finish. That might not look good on paper, but for me, that was the biggest win of the weekend because I just had to manage that one, not get any no reps, accept my place, and let everything else speak for itself. So if you're nervous about the bench press and you're an athlete, just don't hit that wall.
Like, that's the reason he went to the games, is that 24th place.
34th, and he doesn't make.
And I didn't see a lot of people doing this, but there were some idiots in the comments, like being like, "Hey, how the fucking Brooke Wells be world class and this happened to her?" Listen, fucking knuckleheads, I dare you to fucking go out there and try to beat her fucking time. You go out there and try to do these 90-pound dumbbell bench press, and I'll let you take out the deadlifts, and you can't beat a single one of these fucking semifinals.
Now I'd let him do the same weights. I bet they don't beat her.
As her, yeah. I mean, it's crazy what those girls did. Okay, let's move to workout number 4. We should have done this with the lady.
Well, this is a slam dunk. Assuming he's healthy.
Tudor Magda. I'm just kidding. Anthony Davis.
But there are some massive
snatching.
There's a guy named Anton Foss in this field that has a huge snatch, and there's one other guy.
Didn't Tudor snatch 322 somewhere? I thought I saw in your article.
Games.
Yeah, didn't I see that in your article, Brian?
Yeah. So those, in theory, those should be the top 2. But there are several men in this field with a 300+ pound snatch. Now,
why is Robbie Myers saying Matthew? Why is Robbie Myers saying Matthew? Yeah. Because Robbie's
he's probably sitting next to him.
He doesn't know who Anthony Davis is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Robbie.
I mean, I would say that picking anyone other than, in this order, Anthony Davis, Tudor Magda, Anton Foss for the top 3 picks here is expecting something that is pretty unlikely.
Elise Carr-Rideau, I did it at 75% and still didn't make the time cap. Thank you for sharing. Brooke's elbow.
By the way,
I'm going to fucking chop your arm off, Brooke's elbow. You better watch your mouth. Brooke Wells is world-class. Look at me, chick. Shut it. Insta famous. Shut it. And now CrossFit famous for being none of that's true. Stop being a dickhead. Brooke, I apologize. Your elbow is just angry. It will heal up and come to the light.
If anyone is thinking about doing these workouts, Kiefer Lamy from Underdogs Athletic wrote an article that's on Be Friendly Fitness that gives you great options for doing them at home. I know some people sometimes watch these and are inspired by them. So if you want to check that out, he's pretty good. I was very impressed with his writing, and his coaching is world-class in my opinion. So give it a look if you're interested in trying some versions of these for yourself based on where your fitness level is at.
Wow, that was like a PSA. That was cool. Where by the way, these are your 2 best articles that I've ever read, by the way. I shouldn't say ever, but this women's semifinals women's and semifinals men, they're packed. Good information. I don't like it when you say, this is the only thing I don't like about your articles. You'll say something and then you'll be like, and so failed the drug test. And so the way when you say the word failed drug test, sometimes I think you're talking about someone different than you're talking about. So I get scared for a second. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just am trying not to draw attention to the athletes that failed the drug test. But I just, like in the case of Nick Matthew, for example, he's never stood on a semifinal field at the end of a competition and been announced as a CrossFit Games qualifier. So, people that are saying, I mean, the first comment when I posted on Instagram this morning was like, Nick Matthew, top 3, big dick Nick for the win. And it's like,
big dick Nick. Does he have a huge dick?
No, but these are people that are just making unrealistic claims. By John and I ranking him 5th, we are giving Nick the credit that he is due. Look at the other people ahead of him. That's a very, very fair and realistic prediction. If we had him 12th, you would have every right in the world to say that we're disrespecting him. But I think we're being extremely respectful of what he's done this last year. and he has capitalized on the opportunity to finally make the games and parlayed it into great performances everywhere he's gone. But he hasn't actually done it at a live semifinal of standing there and having his name read. I think he's going to do that this weekend, and I'm going to be really happy for him if he achieves that. But as good as he was at Rogue, as good as he was at the games, as good as he was at Wodapalooza, I still want to see him do it one more time. And Sevan, you said it yourself an hour ago or so. Like, I'm still waiting for Nick to do it one more year and really prove to me that he's as good as we think he is.
Yeah, put on a regular shirt. Is this the article you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, thank you. Who's that guy? Who's Kiefer?
Kiefer Lamy. He's the second in command to Kotler at Underdogs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like it. Okay. Oh, no, not this page. Sorry. We're going back to, we should have done this for the women. I apologize. Workout 5. Okay. So who did you guys pick for this? You guys both have Anthony Davis and no. Was it workout 4?
For the snatch, we have Davis. For the run, I got Bill Leahy on this one. What?
I'm going to go with.
That was a great laugh, John. Get him.
Medeiros.
Oh.
I think Bukowski could surprise people on that too.
Finally catching you guys after coaching a class. Keep doing the Lord's work. Thank you. Who's doing the Lord's work?
John.
Oh, there's one of us. Bend over. I did semifinals. Linda is prescribed and finished at 17 exactly, and I did the dumbbell bench unbroken. Just shows how crazy fit they are.
That's a bend over. You are crazy fit if you finish that prescribed in 17 minutes. Very well done.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, but look at his fucking neck. Doesn't even fit in the shirt.
The managing the squat cleans is what's impressive there. You could be strong enough to do the dumbbells, but most people that are strong enough to do the dumbbells unbroken don't have the capacity to do the squat cleans and still move for that fast and that long.
What does this
the whole
mean?
workout's the squat cleans.
What does this mean? Brooke didn't make it, but she's a dime. What's
She's
that? What's
10.
it? Oh, thank you. Shit. I see dime and I think dime bag. John is a good dude. Matt Fraser's brother likes you. That's cool. Kelly Gibbons. Oh, that's a dude with. Oh,
this isn't even.
That's a
true.
dude with the girl's name. Check that out.
event.
Guy's pioneer. John has said Medeiros to win most of these events, and yet he has Vellner winning.
I said Fikowski, Colton, Anthony Davis. This is the first time I've said Justin.
Jonathan Lane, bend over. I know. Don't worry. Thank you. Brooke's elbow. No, you're on timeout. You're on complete timeout. You're into time. Okay. Sorry, Ken Walters. In everything we do, it as we are doing it for the Lord. All three of you work hard and you are passionate about your work. Like, what are you, 60?
Thank you, Ken.
What's wrong with 60?
Nothing. I just
anyone who's 60 out there and is a fan of stuff, we love you. Shut up, Sevan.
Fair. I'll take it. So who did you have? Leahy and Medeiros. How about some backup picks?
Fikowski.
This is this one workout where there's there might be someone further down the field that we're not aware of that could smash.
That we don't know. Yeah.
Because a lot of these guys, for most of this field, the snatch is a non-factor. And maybe there's just a phenomenal runner. Here we go.
Lionel Franco could do really good in this one.
He could. He definitely could. And Brian Wynn. That's my sleeper pick for you, Sevan.
Who is that? Do I know who that is?
You call him Brian, huh?
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, are there any runners? Is there a Danielle Brandon there? Like when we just see them running on the run?
Sydney Wells is really the exception. She smashed everyone last weekend in this.
Well, I mean, that's what she did.
Dude, is there anyone like that?
Yeah, but if he's asking if there's any runners, he should be calling up.
Sorry. Okay, Sydney Wells, fair. I just remember Danielle's cadence. I was looking at her cadence. Is there anyone else who's going to be just taking up the whole runner with their stride, and it's going to be like, fuck, this person knows how to run? Franco,
Bill Leahy, Max Krieg, CJ Gerald, Nico Flores, they all listed running as a strength of theirs. So those are the guys to watch, I guess.
There's no 800 meter NCAA fucking runner up.
I know Matt Poulin is a good runner. He's not the greatest snatcher, but he's a good runner.
What the fuck do you think Brian's last name is? You think it's Wynn? It starts with an H, huh? You think that's pronounced with a W? Is that what you're saying?
I think the guy you're looking for in this field that could be the surprise on this is CJ Gerald. So if you're looking for a lesser known to maybe do well on the snatch run, that's who I would go for.
How about Daniel Cook?
Daniel Koos.
30th. Oh, there's some dudes down here. Logan Ewing. That's Roman's training partner. And then we got a Jew above him, Roldan Goldbaum.
He's actually Mexican.
Oh.
There are 3 Mexicans in this field. All of them are pretty good.
Rodan.
I bet you $100 that's not a Mexican. If that's a Mexican, he's a Jew Mexican.
Isn't Rodan like super strong?
Yeah.
Does he have a 300 plus snatch?
I have to check.
And how about Philip Muscarella? These are isn't that a Hiller's buddy? Someone loves him.
It's a good field. It's a really good field. The top is very, very heavy, and that's why we've been, strong, and that's why we've been focusing on it a lot. But all the way down to 30th, these guys are incredibly talented, and there will be some guys that have top 5 performances, maybe top 10 performances coming out of the middle tier of this competition for the men.
Is Oscar Moya like laughing at you guys by picking Tudor Maga and Anthony Davis for the snatch? Is he like assholes?
No,
he can't expect us to not pick them.
No, and he can be good, but we would clean and jerk. He'd have a better chance than snatch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
what about this guy, Jack Rosema? Does he finish top 5 in any events?
Top 10,
top
maybe
5.
Not top 5. Snatches, 1 rep max listed snatches for Morad 295, for Goldbaum's 280. I maybe they both have more than that. These are just, we're pulling from the CrossFit Games in the cases that we don't have any other known data. So, there's always a chance. But I think there will be some guys that snatch 300 or more pounds in this field that we maybe not expecting. There's a lot of listed snatches close to 300 pounds here.
Thank you, Matt. Mexicana can be Jewish. Tyler Watkins, he's Jew adjacent. Yeah, there's something going on there. Someone boned someone. Oscar Meyer Wiener. Grow up. Logan Ewing. When is he ever going to make it to the games? Is he a prospect?
He's young.
Who's better, him or Nate Ackerman's better than him?
I think Nate did really well this weekend.
I'd put him in the same ballpark.
Yeah, that's tough. Similar for sure.
Up and coming, but not there yet.
Settle down, Logan. You're lucky we even mentioned your name. Oh shit, where are the dudes? Okay. Oh yeah, back. I forgot. I got sidetracked. I got excited. Back. So we're almost done with the predictions. Holy shit. There we go. Okay, so you guys had who did we have here? You guys had some people I'd never even heard of. Who did you have?
Justin Medeiros.
Oh, okay. Yep. Heard of him.
I picked Bill Lee. We spent some time on his Instagram page. I think you've heard of him.
Yeah. So Bill's the first kind of no-namer that's made the list so far. So that Bill should be.
He had the world record on the running legless rope climb workout last year. John already acknowledged him as being one of the best legless rope climbers in the game, but you also have to be able to run well. This is mostly a running test. He's strong enough to move that barbell, and I think that he's fast enough or good enough at a runner to challenge for the win on this, if not win it outright.
Workout. No, yeah, that's good. That's good stuff, Brian. Workout 6. Go and check. This is they should just call this the landmine workout. This is the one with got to be pirouettes and legless rope climbs and handstand walk and overhead squats. Who are your picks for this?
I'm going to say Nick Matthew.
Oh,
he's being facetious.
No, he's not.
Yeah, yes, he's already.
I think Nick has a good shot at. Winning this.
No,
I said Nick Matthew, and you were like, that makes me feel super comfortable about Colton.
My backup is Colton.
Oh, Nick's definitely.
He just stole my pick.
He 30 minutes ago. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. He did. If I was the judge, he definitely stole your pick. He processed it a little slower.
Who are you picking, Brian?
You dick. I actually am. I think Cole Sager will be in the mix on this. Mitchell Stevenson be in the mix on this one. Medeiros and Vellner will be great at everything minus the handstand push-ups in the middle, but very few people are going to do those unbroken. And the people that can do those unbroken, like the Tetlows and the Mertens, may have to take some rests on the legless just to make sure they don't miss one. And I think that it can be somewhat of a wash there. If it, the things that I really, really like about Medeiros on this is if he manages the handstand push-up, he's going to be tough to beat in relative to strength and cycle speed on the overhead squats at the end.
Nick, by the way, Nick Matthew is a no-brainer. For those of you who watched the games last year, there was another landmine workout to steal Chase's verbiage, and Nick Matthew really showed up. And then on top of that, Nick Matthew did incredible at the heavy bag event, which is like a hybrid between a landmine event and a strength event. And this is what this fucking event is. It's a fucking landmine event with a strength component at the end with those 20 overhead squats. And I think we are going to see Nick Matthew. He's gonna frazzle the group. I think he's gonna be devastating on this. I agree with you.
See, after watching the event for the East, the best guys were the guys who could do the 20 handstand push-ups unbroken. And I know you're saying Mertens is not on the level as Noah or Morad in the rope climbs. But say they balance out and they're really close.
I thought Noah took 2 sets on the handstands.
No, I think him and Morad both went unbroken. I don't know if he did win unbroken for sure, but I know Morad did. They were both firing like a pistol. But
I think Noah was. I mean, I'll have to watch it back. But I thought Noah was ahead of him, and I think he did like 15.5. Will passed him, and then Noah passed him again on the legless.
Okay. But like I know you don't think Mertens is on that level of the rest of the leg for the legless rope climbs. But if they are even close on the overhead squats, Colton's overhead squat speed will be faster than everybody's. It'll be faster than Medeiros.
Baker, Mertens walks more on his hands than his feet. Good.
I don't think Justin's going to row that much faster than him on a 500 meter before the overhead squats. Like if they come off at any point in the same time on the handstand pirouettes, I think Colton can take them.
Workout number 7. The final workout.
You don't think so?
I mean, everything that we've ever seen about Medeiros, it doesn't really matter what the workout is. He's the best back third athlete in workouts that,
What does that mean, back third?
He's the best pacer. He is the best at pacing.
Right.
He's fifth best at everything, but he is the best at pacing.
And if you break down any workout into first third, middle third, and last third of the workout, he makes more moves relative to his heat in the last third of the workout than anyone else.
Do the women have someone like that it's like, fuck, until you cross the finish line, this motherfucker's like a ghost and just haunting you?
I mean, there's not very many men like that either. He's pretty unique in that fact. Rich was kind of like that too. Everybody just knew where Rich was. You
didn't get to see how great he was at pacing either because he was usually in the front, but
depending on the workout, there were a lot of times where he would just kind of lurk, and then attack right at the end. He did that in individual workouts, but also with competitions overall. And I think that Rich was probably the forerunner of Justin in that regard. Like he was the best one at that. He still might be. We just, people weren't studying the sport the same way that we study it now. So, and the sport, it was a little different then in many regards. But yeah, Rich was good at that, and Justin's great at that for sure.
Christy Aramo.
I wouldn't put her in that category. She's just very, very fit engine wise. There's a difference. Like Sam Briggs, I don't put in that category.
Well, Emily Rolfe too, right? Like if she's on the field to play, she's a threat. Yeah.
No, for all of these women, when there's something that they're great at, they usually get out in front and stay in front. But they're not. I'm trying to think of the parallel of the female athlete that starts 5th through 7th, moves into 3rd through 4th, and then finishes 1st to 2nd on workout after workout after workout. And I think in the women's field, it's more that the women that are the best at the thing that the workout is most targeted towards get out in front and stay out in front more often.
No, she's not competing, LaFemme. If you're talking about Christy Aramo, right? We were just saying, we've gotten derailed in a good way. Okay, last workout. Echo bike. Toes to bar, carry the heavy bag, 3 rounds, beautiful workout. If you're only going to watch one event the whole weekend, come tune in at the end. This thing is so fun to watch.
I'm going to say Valner for this one.
Let me give you the list of guys that I think have a chance to go under 4 minutes on this workout.
Nick Matthews going to be good on this one.
Under 4 minutes.
Yeah. I want to check and see how many did it. So
2.
It was only
3. 3.
No,
Sprague, Hopper, and Roman. Or Dallin, Hopper, Roman.
Yeah, so I think that this is like a really good check mark. If you're able to go under 4 minutes in this workout, that's elite for this test. And I wanted to just see. You're sure it's just those 3?
I'm pretty positive.
We'll just find out just to be sure.
Toes to bars.
Alex Vigneault also.
Toes to bar is the
4
separator here. You have to be good at the bike, but break on the toes to bar will determine the winner. Bailey Walker.
So it's fascinating actually that it's these 4 guys that were under 4 minutes, because Roman and Vigneault went out hot and faded, and they still had top 4 finishes. Dallin and Jason, they went out fast, but they increased their pace per round as the rounds went on. James Sprague did the same thing in the previous heat and ended up finishing 7th overall in that workout. But under 4 minutes, those are the only 4 guys: Dallin Pepper, Jason Pepper, Roman Cornefe, Alex Vigneault. In this field alone, these are the guys that I think have a chance to do that: Medeiros, Vellner, Fikowski, Quant, Matthew, Grieshaber, and Chandler Smith.
I don't buy Chandler Smith.
Say that one more time. Let me hear them again. Grieshaber. Okay.
Vellner, Fikowski, Quant, Matthew, Grieshaber, and Chandler Smith. Sub 4 possibility. I might even throw Bill Leahy in that mix.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Brian,
I'm just saying, I think that this
I'll take a steak, a cup of hot chocolate, and Bill Leahy. Just throw them in there.
In this particular field, I think there's a big group of athletes that are going to be highly competitive, and I would echo your advice to the fans. Don't miss the final heat of men on this one.
Sevan's dog. This is for tall dudes. What?
Who
Let me ask you
20
this.
toes to bar. I mean, I know. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this: does the weight of the bag make it so that it doesn't matter how tall you are? So that actually maybe Colton has an advantage on the bag because you actually can't run faster.
Bigger guys have an advantage on the bag.
They do.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that bag weighs more than Colton, but some of the guys will pick it up way more than the bag.
The thing is, to go sub 4, you have to hammer the bike. You know, 10 extra seconds on 3 rounds there, and you can't make that up on the toes. Like, you have to be good enough on the bike. I probably should eliminate Nick Matthew from that group based on that alone.
John George bringing up a good point. I'm pretty sure I saw James Sprague's feet hitting the ground on the toes to bar. Brian, what is so hard for them to raise the pull-up bar to 6 inches? It's such a disadvantage for all these tall guys, says the man in the Dave Castro CEO shirt. Not being able to extend sucks.
Yeah, I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about that last year, in particular with regards to Matt DeLugos and the chest bar pull-up workout. That, you know, if that was a slightly taller pull-up bar, I think he would have made the games last year. James Sprague definitely had to be conscientious of that during the toes to bar. I think you even texted me during the workout that his feet were hitting the ground, and I started paying close attention. I don't think I saw his feet hit the ground after that, but I do think he had to kind of pull them up a little bit. And
he did come off the toes to bar at least twice, maybe 3 times
in the last round, and that will happen. Like that will happen. There'll be a rare athlete that's able to go 20-20-20 unbroken. I don't think there's, if you're not confident, then you can do it. I don't think there's a problem going 12-8 in every round with just a 2 to 3 second break. I don't think you have to go unbroken if you're not confident that you can. If the worst thing that can happen is that you get to the last 5 and you have to do 2-2-1.
Merton needs a 30-inch box to reach a 6-foot bar.
As far as the heights of the pull-up
is this
bars,
true? Is this true? You have to hold 95 RPMs on the bike to go. Is that what he's saying? 95 RPMs to go sub 4? Is that true?
No, you don't have to.
I would
say if you crank it up to 100 and for like 7 cows, and then kind of coast it down to 70, you're done at 15 in like 25 seconds.
But the top guys were getting off in 16 and 17 seconds in the first.
Yeah,
round.
no, they were holding 100 plus for
first
the whole 15 cows on that first round. But I'm saying, like, just like you ramp it up real hard, you hold that for 5 or 6 cows, and then you pedal it down. You're still pedaling, but you just let it trickle down to like 70, and then you're done with 15 by the time you get to 70. And it takes like 25, 30 seconds.
Oh, the show's already been flagged. Fuck. What did I say? Don't let your kids look at iPhones. Is that what got it flagged?
Most likely, I tuned out for whatever it was that you said.
Oh, Brian. Oh no, it's not flagged. It was the wrong show. Okay. So who we picking? Who we got? Final workout.
I'm taking Justin on this.
Valner.
Champ shit. Hey, both those guys are going to send it. Hey, who's going to be winning going into this event?
Justin.
You think Vellner's going to make the comeback on the last event?
Listen, this show has affected John Young.
It.
This show affected John Young.
Yeah, I think Justin's going to be ahead by 3 points. Vellner wins. Fikowski gets second, and then Medeiros gets third in this workout, and then Vellner wins.
Hey, gentlemen, we need to come back and do this exact same thing for women. When are we going to do that?
I'm not doing that. I'm leaving for California in the morning and probably unavailable till Sunday night.
No, tomorrow night. Wednesday is Shut Up and Scribble. Thursday night, I'm wide open, dude.
I'm not.
Thursday night, me, you, John Young do the same thing for the women. It'll be quick. It'll be like 30 minutes. What are you doing Thursday night? What are you
working?
Doing? No, Thursday night after you get off work. This isn't a fucking job. This is pro bono shit.
In Orlando, I was doing something that I would consider work from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day.
All right. Great show, gentlemen. I cannot believe that last hour just blew by. I seriously thought we were going to make it to 90 minutes and be done. I don't know what happened.
I think I've had to pee for like 2 hours. Is that healthy?
Yeah, that's totally healthy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to do one? Okay, James, John, are you available Thursday? James, I'll reach out to you. You could replace Mr. Friend, and we'll do the women. I would love that.
I love that too. It was good seeing you this weekend, James.
That hurt a little bit, Brian. Brian, be a little sad. Get defensive or something. Don't be like I like that too.
What I'm saying, I like James. I saw him this weekend. It's nice to see him, and it's great if you have him on.
No, but I want you to be like, no, you can't have someone else.
Thursday night, what time?
I don't know. I can't. That's Matt Suit. That's below my pay grade.
Okay.
That's
I will try to, with no promises.
Oh, either way, Susan will get it worked out. That'd be great to have you and Townsend. All right. Look at Corey Leonard. We want Townsend. Yeah, who doesn't want Townsend? All right, guys. We will see you guys tonight. Castro's coming on the show tonight at 5:30. It will be live, sitting right over there. I'm going to try to spend the next 3 hours reworking the studio a little bit. Be here with your questions in the live chat for Mr. Castro. I will try to prop up a computer in front of him so he sees the questions and he can cherry pick. And tomorrow morning, are you coming on again tomorrow morning, Brian? No, you're leaving town.
I'll be in there.
Okay. Tomorrow morning we have Alex Stein on. Holy shit. It's going to be wild.
Matt Torres is going to be on for 15 minutes on the barbell spin. Do you guys want me to ask him anything?
Oh shit. No, but I do want to have him on. God, you're lucky to have him on. Yeah. Ask him what the fuck he does with Emma Cary and Danielle Brandon. And how, I swear to God, that guy's running an exotic animal farm over there. Can you imagine?
Okay. I'll word it just like that.
Yeah. Be like, it's crazy. It's nuts.
Okay.
Have you ever had a fish tank and there's like certain fish you're not supposed to mix together no matter what? It's like that. But he's doing it. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Oh, no. See you guys this evening, 5:30 p.m. Bye-bye.